This is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network production. This is the #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers, let's go.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the
What's up, baby? Your boy is back. How y'all doing today? Victory Monday right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I am your host, Stephen D. Super excited to be hanging back out with y'all after a long hiatus. How are y'all doing today? What's up, man? Welcome back, Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan morning show. Want to say good morning to my Finlaws and my family. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Stephen Daniels. You can follow me on all social media at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. And Clock Blockers is presented each and every morning by Tailgreeter. Download the app today. Also, want to remind you guys, you can also follow Miami Sports Music as well at Miami Sports Music, except on Twitter, where we are at MIA Sports Music. Want to remind you all, too, to hit the like button on your way in and subscribe to the channel. Got some big things coming up for the football season, some revamping of the podcast network. We got some good stuff, so I'm excited about it. So subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. It's a big deal. It helps the channel grow, and that's what we want to do here. Also, sign up today to become a member of the channel. There are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you. If you haven't signed up today, make sure you do that. The link is in the description below. Just hit subscription or subscribe, and subscribe today to become part of the family. That's right. Also, want to remind you guys, you can help the channel grow by donating. Lots of different ways you can do that. You can use the YouTube Live Super Chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat, or you can use Cash App, which is $MSM Podcast Network or MSM Podcast Network on PayPal. You can use the QR codes that you just saw on your screen if you just rewind back a little bit, and you guys can do that there. Want to give a big shout out to sponsors of the show, ZSM Sports. ZSM Sports, the #1 place to get your cards, jerseys, balls, and hard-to-find items. Make sure you follow ZSM Sports today. Less is more events, Lime tickets. They are absolutely amazing. You need tickets to anything, anywhere. Make sure you guys call 202-930-3533 today. Less is more events, less than the competition, allowing you to have more fun. And last but certainly not least, again, Tailgreeter. Download the app today on your current Crapple or Android device. Hey, if you have Crapple, I'm sorry about your luck, but make sure you do that today. It's good stuff. All right. Want to remind you too, on Tailgreeter, whether you download the app or go to the website, there are 3 amazing events coming up this football season. If you are wanting to go see the Miami Dolphins on the road, we are hosting in Baltimore on New Year's Eve. Is it New Year's Eve? It's New Year's Eve. The Baltimore Beatdown. That's right. This will be the 3rd time we've hosted officially the Baltimore Beatdown. We did one last year. It was absolutely amazing. Over 150 people. If you go to Tailgreeter today, search Baltimore Beatdown, whether you download the app or go to the website, you'll see tickets to the game. You'll see all-inclusive tailgate VIP section. You will see opportunities for bus packages to and from the stadium, from the hotel, and we also have hotel link lined up too. So if you go there on the website, you'll see the link for the hotel up there. We're not selling the hotel through Tailgreeter, but the link is up there for the hotel package. So make sure you see that. If you have any questions, you can always DM me at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. We are also doing one in Washington, D.C. this year. The FedEx Takeover. That's right, the FedEx Takeover. I believe that's December 1st, if I'm correct. And the Dolphins are playing the Washington Commanders. We're doing a Saturday night meet and greet. That is free. We got game tickets to the game, upper level and lower level, all-inclusive tailgate, and so much more. Okay, so there's plenty of awesome things that we have there, and we're super excited about it. So make sure you guys sign up today to become part of the FedEx Takeover. We'd love to see you. All right. And last but certainly not least, we have the Philly Finvasion in Philadelphia. I believe it's that Week 7 game on Sunday Night Football. We got a Saturday night meet and greet. We got game tickets, all-inclusive tailgate. Go to Tailgreeter, search in Philly Finvasion. All right. So a lot of cool stuff, a lot of amazing events coming up we hope that you guys get in on that. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We got a big show lined up for you today. We're going to talk a little bit about the All-Star game, the home run derby tonight. Super excited about that, and just where the Miami Marlins are at kind of within the sports world or in baseball, and how they're kind of making a run of this thing, and I'm super excited about it. We're going to update you on the latest with Damien Lillard and Dalvin Cook. Are they coming to Miami? Are we going to have two new superstars in South Florida? And, I want to talk to Tua Tagovailoa. I want to talk football. And I obviously, this being a show made for the fans by the fans, I'm going to have you on the fans as well, as I do. So what's up? How y'all doing? Super excited to see y'all. I haven't seen y'all in a while. I want to say hello to everybody that is in the chat. I got Mark K, Raul, Cap for Life, DDG, Maria, Rube, Cesar Diaz, Marino's Goat, Mikey, Dolphin Winters. We got a lot of stuff here. Hey, sign up today to become a member. There are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you today. Bash 305. What's going on? How y'all doing? Man, it's been so a lot of people wanted me to address why I have not been doing the show as of late. And so I'll just, briefly kind of say, look, there's some personal stuff that's going on in my life, and, trying to deal with that. And, it's tough to do this every day. And, I've had that conversation with some of you before, and, I want to be able to do the show every day. And that's still the plan, to do the show every day, Monday through Friday in the morning times. But sometimes you just got to hit the reset button. And that's what I kind of had to go back to the drawing board on how this was going to work and how this was going to go. For this upcoming football season. And I still don't have a full plan yet, but we got a lot of things in the works. And, my hope is that, this will keep on growing and keep on moving. And, I know some of you didn't have a morning show to go to for the last couple of weeks, and I've been off and on for like the last month, but it's the off season too. So I hope you guys understand that. The goal is to still have the show Monday through Friday in the morning time. And that's kind of where we're at. So, I have missed y'all. To the few people that did reach out to me. I did not reach back out because I was just kind of being in a cocoon and keeping to my family and keeping to myself and just trying to do my own thing. So I apologize if I didn't get back to you. There was only a couple of you that reached out to me, but I appreciate the ones who did. It means a lot. But I am glad to be back and see some of y'all in the chat. Super excited. Daniel Taylor, what's up, man? Rick Spar says F the fans. If it ain't broken, don't try to fix it. Enjoy your family. Season sports is an afterthought. Cap for Life said, I appreciate it. Clock Blockers, Walt Dog said 1, 2, 3, 4, 100. Yep. Yeah, man, we got a lot to do. So I just, my goal again is to, keep a great show lined up for y'all, and that's what we're gonna do. But a lot's gone down since I've been gone, and you guys haven't gotten my thoughts on a lot of things. Just first of all, say just briefly, because I know a lot of you don't like baseball. I am excited for the home run derby tonight. All-Star game. We got 2 from the Miami Marlins. We got Jorge Soler, and we got the second baseman, Ariz Jr. Coming. So I'm excited, man. There's a lot to be excited about for the Miami Marlins going into the All-Star break. They're right there. They have a lot of different things. They have a lot of different things that they're doing. And so I'm excited to see where the Miami Marlins go and baseball in general. I'm going to have more baseball content separate in the coming weeks. So there's going to be a new show that is baseball centric that will be uploaded on a weekly basis that will go over everything. So I'm excited about that. So that'll be good. What else? The Damien Lillard situation coming to Miami, I'm excited about. Damien Lillard pretty much saying to Portland, trade me to Miami or watch me, throw a hissy fit, whatever you want to call it. I'm proud of Damien. Damien's played for several years in Portland and not gotten anything to show for it as far as production in the form of playoffs or championships. So, the fact that he wants to come here, and it sounds like, he's pretty much putting, a target on Portland to execute a trade to South Florida excites the hell out of me. Do we have to give up? Do Miami Heat fans have to, what are they going to give up to go get Damien? Look, I mean, having Jimmy Butler, Damien Lillard, and hopefully Bam, if he can stay here, I mean, that would be a pretty decent big three. I'm not saying that Damien that Bam is part of is in the realm of the big three. I don't know if that's necessarily fair, but Damian Lillard, and it wouldn't all fall on Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler in the last two series of the NBA playoffs this year and into the finals just didn't show up. And so having somebody like Damian Lillard, I think that would be awesome. Having Dame time in South Florida, I think that would be just a huge thing. And so I hope that comes to fruition. There's been a lot of different scenarios, trade scenarios that have gone down. There's a lot of different rumors. And so having, like I said, Bam, Jimmy Butler, and Damian Lillard on the same team, I mean, I think that'd be awesome. So I hope that comes to fruition. I don't know if anything's getting done anytime soon because Portland doesn't have to execute on anything. Right now, the Summer League is going on. I watched some of Summer League basketball yesterday. But Summer League's going on, and I think that's where teams are kind of interested in right now. They're just dealing with what's going on in Summer League. And I think after Summer League, you'll start seeing a little bit of trades or, free agent signings and stuff like this. So, I'm excited. I'm excited to see Damian Lillard come here. I just want the Heat to be able to execute on that. And I think that Pat Riley will. And if Pat Riley can get Damian Lillard to come to South Florida, is he the best GM in the history of the NBA? And because he's been able to make it work with several different rosters over the years, period, let alone coach. He's already one of the best coaches of all time. But is he top 2, top 3 GM of all time in the NBA? Especially if he executes the Lillard trade and then they end up going to the finals or winning a championship for that matter. I think he is. I think he's close to it now. He's probably top 10 GM of all time. But if he executes this Lillard trade and then they end up winning another championship together and going to the NBA finals for what it'll be the 7th time in 10 years, something like that. It's something ridiculous. So, I mean, he's won it with the big three with LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and the Heatles era. He's won it with Shaq and Dwayne Wade. He's and if he can win with Jimmy Butler, Damian Lillard, I mean, come on, man. That's 3 different regimes, 3 different sets of rosters that he's won championships over the 20 years he's been here. And it's kind of weird to say that he's been here for that long, but yeah, man, Pat Riley, especially if he pulls this trade, I think has to be talked about as one of the best GMs in the history of the game, if not the best. So DDG says Pat Riley's top 5 GM all time, in my opinion. I agree. I have to. I think he's there. As a Magic fan, Pat Riley is a legend as a coach and GM. He was already there as a coach. I think he should get in twice. Once as a coach and once as a GM, because he's had 2 different careers. And it's been crazy. Pat Riley will land as well soon. I'm not worried. And that's what kind of Heat fans are hoping on or banking on, that Pat Riley's going to come in here, make the trade that needs to happen, because he knows he cannot win a championship with the current roster as is now. Can't do it. You're not beating Denver like this. And I'm not saying Denver's going to go back to back, but you're not beating them the way that they're currently set up with the roster that you have now. You bring in Damian Lillard, add a couple of other existential pieces, to the end of that bench, you got a roster, you got a squad that can do it. And so I think they're one or two pieces away now, one or two big pieces away, not little pieces, big pieces. And I think that comes in the form of Damien Lillard. Pat Riley has to be considered for Basketball Hall of Fame when the trade is successful. I think he's already in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Don't get it twisted. I just think he's there as a coach already. He's probably there as a GM, but is he the GOAT of GMs? You can't say he's the GOAT for coaching. That's debatable. You got Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson and him are probably the top two coaches of all time. And by the way, there's probably other coaches in there that I'm not even putting up there that probably deserve to be in the GOAT conversation. But as far as the GOAT conversation when it comes to GMs, I mean, think about the Red Auerbach and the whole Boston days. He's up there, everything that the buses have done. I know they're owners, but I mean, they've brought in the right people. Greg Popovich, somebody said, there we go. Popovich too. Think of what Popovich has done for the Spurs over the 20-year history. By the way, first overall pick, can't say his name for the life of me, had a bad debut in his summer league game. Danny Ainge is a good GM, but Pat Riley hates Danny Ainge with passion. Yes. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I fully expect Damian Lillard to be in a Heat uniform for this upcoming season. And I'm excited about it. One other thing about the NBA also announced yesterday that they're doing an in-season basketball tournament. The month of November, Tuesdays and Fridays games, which are part of the regular season, will be set up for a tournament. And all teams are broken down into 4 groups. That's already been released. 4 from the East, 4 from the West. So 8 groups in total. And Tuesdays and Fridays games in the month of November will count towards the win-loss record. The team that's in first place, by the way, points per game, all that matters. So if teams tie, you got how many points did you win by? Stuff like that. So, and then it kind of goes down, and the top 4 teams will end up playing an extra game in Las Vegas for the NBA Cup, is what they're calling it. I'm excited about that, man. There are a lot of sports growing up where you have these in-season tournaments in high school and even in college, right? So I'm excited to see a professional league adopt an in-season tournament, especially when basketball is 81 games and the regular season is so tough for people. Like, to be honest with you, I watch Christmas Day for me is the start of the NBA season for me. And then it's probably, man, I'm not sure what it is after that, but I don't really care till we get to March, maybe April, when the playoffs start. So I'm excited to see this in-season tournament. There was a lot of hate for it yesterday on social media, but I think it's something worth trying, and I'm okay with it. And so the championship team is going to play 2 extra games from the other teams in the regular season, which I think is cool. I'm all right with it. For me, all-star game, teams get serious. You're right about that. You are right about that. But remember, this year, Scar 305, the all-star game didn't come till 3/4 of the season. Didn't come halfway. It came 3/4 of the season. Was pretty much done when the all-star game hit for the NBA. So, but you're right. It's a marathon up until then, and then after the all-star break, it's a race to see who gets there. So we'll have to see. But I am excited to see this tournament and see how it works out. We'll see how it happens. So, all right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, the return of Clock Blockers this morning. Thank you for joining me back. Missed a lot of you. Super excited that you're here. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Only 15 likes. Want to talk a little bit of Dolphins football. The Dalvin Cook situation, right? What's going on with the Dalvin Cook situation that hasn't already been said? It seems to be the #1 story on most football YouTube shows, most podcasts, most NFL talk. What is going on with Dalvin Cook? Dalvin Cook has multiple offers on the table. There's multiple stories about what he wants or where he wants. Zach Killer, his agent, who was on this show about a month and a half ago, has been on multiple other podcasts, and there's been so much stuff that has gone on from the standpoint of Dalvin Cook that what we do know and confident are saying that he has an offer on the table from the Dolphins. He has an offer on the table allegedly from the Jets. He has an offer on the table allegedly from the Minnesota Vikings, and maybe one or two other teams. So he has his choice, and he doesn't need to make a decision. Now, are these alleged contract offers what he wants? Maybe not, which is why he hasn't picked one yet. If you had asked me 3 weeks ago, and I said on this channel, I was very confident that a deal would get done between Dalvin Cook and the Miami Dolphins. With each day that passes, I am less and less and less confident that happens. That's just my personal opinion. There at any point in time, a team can swoop in. The Dolphins are not going to give him the biggest contract. I think most fans are confident in that. They don't necessarily need to, by the way. But we'll have to see. But I am personally thinking that he probably, with each day that happens, I just don't know if he comes to South Florida. And I want to see it. I think it'd be great. I think it would put us automatically in the stratosphere of one of the best rosters, in the last 20 years in the NFL. And I would love to see it, but I just don't know if it happens. We'll have to see. So, my personal opinion, I still think there's a chance he comes, but I'm not confident that it happens. And right now, the longer it waits, the less likely it is. I will say July 10th, I figured he would have been signed by now. Training camp starts in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So if he's not on a roster and 2.5 weeks away from training camp, that surprises me, because I figured he'd want to read the playbook, get in, try to get a head start before. It'll be interesting. My personal opinion, I think it'll happen in the next 7 to 10 days. A decision for Dalvin Cook will happen in the next 7 to 10 days. I think the Dolphins are in the running, but I don't think he likes the offer that he got from us. But having said that, it's not like anybody else has made him an offer where he's running to go sign it either. So it works both ways. So we'll have to see. But again, you asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have been 95% sure Dalvin Cook was coming to Miami. At this point, I just don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. It'll be very interesting to see. As far as the Dolphins are concerned, with 2.5 weeks set up away from going into training camp and stuff like that, I'm very, very excited about it. Number one, it just means that, football season's dead ahead, and we're all kind of excited for football season. But number two, from a Miami Dolphins standpoint and a Miami Dolphins fan, I just think there are a lot of things to be excited about. DDG asked, do you think Tyreek's allegations affected Dalvin's decision, or is it all him waiting for Saquon and Jacobs to get paid? Saquon and Jacobs are not really making a move till the Dalvin Cook situation is. So I don't think it's the second thing. And I really don't think Tyreek's allegations have anything to do with Dalvin's decision, because I just don't think it has anything to do with the Dalvin Cook situation. I don't think one is, playing in hand with each other. I think that Zach Hiller and Dalvin Cook are very smart individuals on how they're going about this offseason. And if they sign with anybody, before the start of training camp, I think they did exactly what they needed to do. And they can wait pretty much till the start of training camp to make a decision. So I'd like to see them make a decision way before that. I'd like it to be the Dolphins, but I just don't know if that happens. So we'll have to see. All right. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. One of the things I'm excited to see this offseason or in training camp is the progression of how Tua looks. And just, I think the quarterback play is always something that's going to be talked about. It's going to be something that we know that he has the arm. We know that he can make the throws. But, seeing him in action in 2-minute play calls, one of my favorite things about training camp is, getting the, I don't know if they stopped allowing it to happen, which sucks, but getting the play-by-play from people that are there. Oh man, he just threw a 10-yard pass. Oh man, he threw a bomb to Tyreek. For me, I just want to see, that he's taken leadership, more leadership than he has in the past. I want to see him get in some guys' faces. I want to see him take control of this playbook. This is the second offseason for the first time in several years that he's had the same playbook. And that's just exciting for me. And should be exciting for you as Dolphins fans as well, because it's consistency. And the #1 thing about good football teams, ladies and gentlemen, is the word consistent. And the one thing that the Dolphins have not been over the last 20 years is consistent. We've been anything but consistent. So I'm hoping we've been consistent. I will say this, you know what? That's unfair. We've been consistently mediocre for the last 20-something years. So I want to be consistently good. I want to make the playoffs again. And I think that you're going to see a lot of things in the preseason, small intricacies. What does Alec Ingold look like this offseason? How is he going to be now that his hand is better? Who's going to take that 3rd or 4th wide receiver spot? What is the tight end position going to look now that Gesicki's not here anymore? How are they going to utilize that? We remember the offense that was played in the preseason last year compared to the offense that was played week 1 and beyond. Night and day. Now, I think that was part of they didn't want to have anybody have tape on what we were doing. Well, now that it's there, I think it's fair that the Dolphins can work on what they would execute in the regular season now anyway. So I do think, somebody said, well, Steven, the offense that they ran in the preseason last year was not the offense that they ran in the regular season. And my response, as I just said, was they didn't want anything on tape for those first couple of opponents. And they didn't want to release. Well, now you have a full season of tape of offense. And so there's not a lot of surprises that they can come up with. Teams know what the Dolphins are going to kind of do. They're going to go to Jalen. They're going to go to Tyreek. And, that's what's going to happen. That's your 1-2 punch. And unless you have a secondary that can keep up with the speed that's there, you can know what's going to happen all day. Speed beats, smarts, in my opinion. And I think that's why McDaniel understands that. And that's why I think Devon Achane is in South Florida. So, we'll have to see what happens there. My other things that I want to see is Devon Achane. What does he look like? Is Devon Achane somebody that can come in week 1 and make a difference on this roster? Because, a lot of the fans, a lot of you guys are like, let's say Dalvin Cook doesn't come. Is Devon Achane somebody who's going to get a bulk of the carries? Raheem Mostert is injury prone, right? Jeff Wilson is too. So the hope is that Devon Achane can come in here, but we all know that the transition from college game to pro is significant. What do the Dolphins do to show us that we can improve upon the offense that we had last year? Trent Sherfield's no longer here. What is it? Is Azukama getting the playbook? Is he understanding it? These are things and questions that I think that we will get answered throughout the process of training camp in these preseason games. Azukama looked great in the preseason last year with Skylar Thompson. So am I going to know that Azukama's got the playbook down this year? I think we're going to know. I think now that we know that there was something that he struggled with, beat reporters, fans that go to the training camps, we're going to be observing what Azukama does in these 2-minute drills at the end of practice. What does he do, in the quarterback wide receiver drills? These are things that we need to know. Chosen. Is Robbie Chosen somebody that's going to be here and make a difference in the roster? I'd like to think that he is. I'd like to think that he's somebody that can come in here and take what Trent Sherfield was doing and add upon that, and take what the one good year, the couple of good years that he had in New York and the one good year he had in Carolina, and be able to say, all right, look, I understand now. I'm not even the one. I'm not the two. I'm maybe the three, but I need to step up if Tyreek and Jalen. So there's a lot to be excited about from the offense standpoint. And then the same thing, here's another thing. We're not going to know what the defense can truly do till week 1. As I said just a little bit ago, the Dolphins didn't want to reveal anything in the preseason games on offense. So you saw basic offensive schemes in the preseason games last year, which is why not Dalvin. So Skylar Thompson and Eric Ezukama had such good preseasons. Because they were running basic offenses. They weren't running what was in the playbook for the most part. They weren't. So I think you're going to see that on the defense too. You're going to see some basic defensive schemes. Vic Fangio's not going to show on film, or not going to do in the scrimmages, the inter squad scrimmages between these two other teams, what he's going to show week 1, week 2, so on and so forth. So we're going to have what is going to be clear indicators of fans observing and beat writers observing the defense in training camp and the preseason? Well, clear indicators are going to be how does, basic offenses that they're going to be going up against, how does the linebacking core look? Are the defensive ends getting to the quarterback in a timely manner? Vic Fangio has said explicitly, since he signed with the Dolphins and been the defense coordinator, that he's not going to run the same stuff that he's run in the past. There will be things that look similar, but he's had a year of being in front of a computer and watching every NFL team execute offenses. And the NFL is a totally different game than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So I don't think that you're going to see Vic Fangio didn't have the team on defense that I believe that he has here, that he had in or in Denver that he has here. I think there's a lot more talent on the defensive side of the ball for us than he ever had in Denver. So I just don't know what type of answers we're going to get from defensive schemes in the preseason and in the training camp, because Fangio's not going to show us. He's not. So we're going to have to, again, it's going to go to what I just said with the offense, small intricacies. How do they look in these defensive drills? Who's the one that's, taking leadership and practice? Who's getting a lot of the reps? And that just because you're getting a lot of the reps doesn't mean that you're going to just because you're getting a lot of the reps doesn't mean that you're going to be getting a lot of the reps come regular season. Cedric Wilson, I 100% believe, as if he's on the roster come training camp, which I expect him to be, is going to get a buttload of the reps in training camp and the preseason. And it will be very public, especially if it's good, because all they want to do is trot him out as a trade piece. That's it. That's all they want to do for Cedric. So the same thing that we saw last year with Eric Ezukama, how he had such a great preseason, I think we're going to see that from Cedric Wilson this year. Because the Dolphins are going to put Cedric in every position to be successful in the preseason, because they want to trade him and get that extra $7 million. They want to. So, those are little small things that I think will be very interesting to see as we move forward. Especially, going into to training camp and what they're going to do as they move forward. So, all right. It's 8 past the hour. It's 10:08 Eastern Standard Time right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I haven't talked to a lot of you in several weeks. I know a lot of you were interested and haven't done a Wildin' Out Wednesday in a couple of weeks. So I'm not going to necessarily do a Wildin' Out Monday, but I am going to bring a couple of you on here and there. I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now. Y'all can get on and we can have some conversations about your thoughts. What do you think about going into training camp and how, this is the second season in a row that Tua is going to be able to have the same playbook? What does wide receivers 3 through 5 look like for you? How does the tight end position look? Is Alec Ingold going to play a different part than he did last year because of his injury? Are we going to be able to see the defensive schemes that Vic Fangio is going to run in the preseason? What's the linebacking core going to look like? Are we going to see 5, 6, or 7 people in the secondary on the field at any one time? Are we going to see that in the preseason? It'll be very interesting to see, and I want to get your thoughts on it. So I just dropped the link in the chat. Feel free to get on, and I will bring you on. I got my first person. Haven't talked to him in a while. Missed the guy. What is going on, Lewis? Good morning, man. How are you?
What's going on, Stephen? Good morning. Hope all is well. How you been?
I've been, man. I've been just like I told people, man. Trying to hit the reset button in life and just trying to see where the show's headed and the podcast network's headed and just myself. And, the goal still is to do the show 5 days a week and keep moving forward. But, this is hard. This is tough. So, just trying to do what's best for me and the fam and keep it moving forward. So that's what it is.
Hey, and there's nothing wrong with that, Stephen. There's nothing wrong with that. I know everybody misses you, but, it's always good to reset and take time. So we understand, yeah. But there's a lot of things we need to talk about. Boy,
hey man, I'm only deaf out of one ear, so I'm all ear, man. I got one good ear. I'm all ear. What's up? What do you want to talk about?
I want to know where the hell are all these damn other offers at for Dalvin Cook? Where they at? It's a smokescreen, in my opinion, Stephen. We have no confirmation. The only one that we know for sure that has an offer to Dalvin Cook, that's the Miami Dolphins. Everything else is speculation. All we heard, the Jets have interest. The Denver Broncos, they're interested. And, well, like, I've been saying it for 2 weeks now. Are we just going to start outbidding ourselves?
Well, look, here's the thing. Adam Schefter and some of the other big names across the country who are majority of the time right in their coverage have explicitly stated that they have multiple offers on the table for multiple teams.
When have we seen Adam Schefter report that?
Schefter's reported on that. He's clearly said that. I can't go back to the tweet that he said, but I'm sure somebody can go in through his Twitter bio, a Twitter page, and look for it. Like I am completely look. Here's what I truly believe. What I believe is that he has at least 3 offers on the table, minimum. But
I haven't heard nobody from Adam Schefter. Nobody say there's offer. There's always
So what good does it do for the Jets to come out and publicly say, hey, we offered him X amount of dollars, and this was our offer, and then he goes and signs with the Dolphins for less, or signs with Dallas for less, or signs with Minnesota for less.
Right, but they don't have to come out.
So it doesn't help the Jets to come out publicly and say that. Although I will tell you what I have talked to other big time YouTubers in the Jets platform, looking at Jets beat reporters. The Jets back door have an unofficial offer on the table to him. Nothing. They're never going to say it's official, but they've talked numbers. They've talked years. They've talked money.
Who's that?
Who?
What team did you just say had an offer?
Jets.
What, bro? No. They talked to what's his name? The representation of Dalvin Cook. I'm sure. Okay, I'm sure they talked to him.
That's what we're talking about here. What else? No, Lewis.
No, Stephen. Talking to a person, engaging what they are looking for is one thing. Having an offer on the table is another. So the Jets have talked to Dalvin Cook, but there's no
Lewis,
offer.
Are you stating that the Dolphins, in your mind, are the only team that have officially given him a contract offer?
That's the only team that we've officially heard has an offer on the table. And don't tell me now that with the life that we live in now, with all the social media, Stephen, you know how this thing works. If I call you later on today and I tell you, hey, Stephen, I heard this, man. Hey, whatever, right? And you call somebody else, and they call somebody else. Eventually, it's going to get out. That's the world we live in now. This is not that 70s and 80s where it was newspaper, word of mouth. No. There is no other team. Why is Miami outbidding themselves? I guarantee you, listen, this is the truth. We all know what's going on here, right? Miami put an offer out. Dalvin Cook didn't like the offer. We all heard that I guess the offer was disrespectful in his opinion, right? Why do you think Miami hasn't budged off that original offer then if it was so disrespectful? You know why?
Because
no other team has offered anything. Because if Dalvin Cook would go to Chris Greer,
I highly doubt no other team has offered him anything.
Well, then why ain't Chris Greer moving? Again, Stephen, you want to
because
right. Let me hear it.
Because first of all, Dalvin Cook on the Miami Dolphins, does it make our team better? 100%.
Right.
Okay, 100% it does.
Right.
But if Dalvin Cook doesn't come to Miami, guess what? The Dolphins are still Super Bowl contenders. They are.
I agree with that. No one, but that's not the argument. Look at Jet fans.
It is part of the argument because they don't need to say they're not desperate. The Dolphins are not so desperate that they say, "Oh my God, we'll pay you $10 million. We'll give you the $10 million that you're looking for."
But we don't have to, Stephen. Let's just play the game. Let's say the offer is $4.5 million.
Okay,
right? That's what we're saying. Let's play that game. You don't think if Dalvin Cook and his representation, whatever that guy, Stiller, whatever his name is, Hiller, there you go. If he went to Chris Greer and went sit across from Chris Greer and slid over a piece of paper and said, "Look, this is the Jets' offer of $7 million." You don't think Chris Greer maybe says, "All right, we got 7.5 for you," right? The problem is there's nothing to bid against. Why aren't we moving? There's no need to. There is no offer. You got a Jets fan in the chat right now. Look at him. The Jets ain't got no offer for him. That's what the Jets.
Look, I said, if you heard me clearly, I said there's unofficial offers, quote unquote, on the table.
So now they're unofficial. So now they're unofficial, bro. The people get in their feelings. They just want Dalvin Cook so bad. If he wants to come here, we said it last night. If he wants to play here, guess what? You're going to play under this disrespectful offer until Miami gets another offer from another team to show us we have to outbid that other team. Other than that, bro, I'll ask this, Stephen. This is the perfect way. We're playing the game. The offer is $4.5 million. It's either you're going to play for $4.5 million or you're going to play for $0. Which one you want? Which one you taking? $0 or $4.5 million?
Let's get something straight between you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Dalvin Cook will be on an NFL roster come training camp time.
I believe it. I believe that as well.
No ands, ifs, or buts about it. Okay,
1,000%.
So he's going to get an offer. Is it going to be what? Is it going to be what he wants? Right. My opinion, probably not. For the simple fact that running backs are not getting paid what they are. You can say worth, whatever. I don't want to trigger anybody or gaslight anybody. Whatever the word you want to use for running backs to say that they're not getting paid essentially what they should get paid according to them. But running backs are disrespected in general with their contract offers in the NFL right now, right?
Agreed.
Okay, so he's not going to see the contract that he wants because nobody's giving him the contract he wants, which is why Chris Greer can say, let's say the $4.5 million is correct. I'm not saying that it is or it isn't. Let's go with your scenario that it is.
Okay.
If no other team has officially put it, let's say those teams have said, "Hey, look, we'll give you $5 million or we'll give you $6 million," right? And that team is New York, or that team is Minnesota, or that team is Dallas, right? Whatever. He could say, well, look, $1.5 million is like, I'll stay with the Dolphins for all that. If you want to do this, I need $8 or $9 million, or I need $10 million. There could be a number that he's saying that to these teams that if you do not get to this number, I will not sign with you. And those teams are basically saying, well, we're not going to get to this number because no running back in the NFL is. And I'm sorry to say, Dalvin, you're a top 5 running back in the NFL. But again, running backs, you don't need a top 5 running back to win a Super Bowl. So teams are not spending $10 million on a running back. So come July 17th, come July 24th, 23rd, whatever, whenever training camp starts, Lewis, for these teams, he's playing a game of chicken with the NFL. And he's already played one game of chicken this year with the Minnesota Vikings, and he won that, mind you. So he's very confident that he can play this game of chicken, whether it's with us or other teams in the NFL, and get an offer that's better than what is currently being offered to him right now. Because when you get into training camp, teams are and I do predict that he'll be signed by the start of training camp. But I will say that there is a scenario where he says, I'll just sit out first couple of weeks until y'all teams see that, hey, your running back situation is crap.
Ain't nobody giving up no money. No. He's not sitting out multiple weeks. He'll be playing.
Ultimately, I don't think so either. But I do think there's a scenario where that could happen if he's basically saying, I want to get paid X number of dollars, and I'm not going to play unless I get it.
Well, Dalvin Cook, in my opinion, and his representation screwed the pooch on this, because his agent has been on multiple platforms. The cat is out of the bag. He wants to be a Miami Dolphin.
Okay, I agree with that.
And Dalvin Cook has been on himself on multiple platforms, and he let the cat out of the bag. So again, this narrative, unofficial, official, whatever it is, there's only one offer on the table. I don't care how everybody wants to play.
What you're saying, one official offer on the table.
And so again, we're talking about official.
And by the way, Lewis, I love you, but it has been said that there are officially, from Adam Schefter, from Ian Rappaport, from all these
teams
other
that are interested,
that there are teams with multiple offers on the table for him.
There are no multiple offers.
Hey, Lewis, I love you, but I'm going to believe them over you in that situation.
Okay, and that's fine. I can only believe what is out there, and what is out there there's one.
No, what you so Lewis, this has always been a pet peeve of mine with you. Okay. If you can't see it, you're not saying it happened. That's not how the world works. You and I both know that. But according to you, if it's not official and it hasn't been announced, it never happened. That's bullshit, and you know it. That's ridiculous.
It's
right or wrong?
You're wrong.
Oh, come on.
How can we go on? So we're going to sit here and talk about what has unofficially been reported? Nobody,
it's been official that multiple offers are on the table.
No, again, from where? Where the report?
From big time beat reporters,
pull it up.
Barry Jackson, all these people have said that there are multiple offers on the table.
Can you pull it up?
I'm not right now, not while I'm hosting the show.
Exactly, because they don't exist. There's multiple people here. How many people are watching?
Okay.
Tell somebody to pull it up.
That's what I said. Go look if somebody wants to go look.
There's no, and they'll be looking because there's no the other teams offering.
There's no other offers that we know. We don't know. What we do know is publicly that the Dolphins have done it because Zach Miller's kind of said it. The Dolphins have, we don't talk about people that are not on our roster.
Has Zach Hiller said that he got an offer from the Jets? So if Zach Hiller is willing enough to put it out there that the Miami Dolphins have an offer, why wouldn't he feel that confident to say the Jets have an offer? Or Minnesota or anybody else? He's the only one, the only team he's mentioned is the Miami Dolphins, but now, right? He hasn't said nobody else, but now we're supposed to believe there's other offers? That's cap. Y'all know it's cap. Stop.
All right, stay on the line. Stay on the line, Lewis. I want you to stay up here because I know there's other things you want to talk about. But right now the conversation is this Dalvin Cook. So let me bring on somebody else.
Absolutely.
And I'll keep you on as a co-host for a little bit. You good with that?
Yes. I'm gonna save my spot. I just got to receive the phone call from my job. I sent in the voicemail. I'm gonna go take care of that. I'll be right back.
All right.
Save my spot. Do not leave me in the back, Steven. I'm telling you now.
All right, I got you.
I'm firing. All right.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the smoke.
I'll be right back.
All right. All right. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Let me bring on the next person. Maria, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Steve. Lewis has to make me crack up, I swear to Christ. He's
Lewis
just
fun. He's a funny guy. He's a funny guy.
Lewis is Lewis.
No doubt about that. What's going on, Maria? How are you? You're breaking up, Maria. Maria's breaking up. Maria, no. All right. Maria, go out and come back in when you can. I'll try to bring you on after. I'm sorry. All right. I'll bring on Cap for life. Good morning, Cap. What's going on, Cap?
Good morning. Good morning. Pero Maria, come back, please.
Maria was in a bad cell phone service. She
Yeah, trust me. I know the feeling. Trust me. But
what's up?
Yeah, man. Man. I just hope you had a good time with the fam and whatnot, bro. I know for the most part it's a down season, so we start making little things into big things. But yeah, bro. I mean, if you would have saw the clip I sent you of the Bizarro Steven from the Jet side, I mean, that guy was pretty much asking Dalvin Cook's agent if there was other offers on there, and Dalvin Cook's agent said, "Yeah." Now, if it's a bluff or not, so be it, whatever. But he's saying there's other offers out there. But I'm with Lewis, man.
So,
and I'm starting to think with Lewis too. Like after July 17th, if Barkley and Josh Jacobs don't get good offers, then yeah, I'm going to be on board with Lewis and saying that the running back position is getting taken advantage of right now throughout this free agency. But like I said, man, like if the guy really wants to come home, you come home, but just don't get your representation to hype up the Jets and say they're a Super Bowl team, but then you want to play for a Super Bowl team in Miami. That's very hypocritical. I get the agents have to do their job. I get it's a numbers game, but you're doing it against a team that pretty much is, our competition, our nemesis. I get we've done that before, but this is too much buttering up the Jets if the Jets haven't even offered you an offer.
All right, so Cap, let me just go back and forth with you here. So we both heard the clip that you sent me that he was on the Jets podcast, the Jets YouTube thing, basically said, yes, there are multiple offers from teams that he has received. Lewis is correct too. As far as we know, the Dolphins are the only one that have somewhat publicly come out and said that they've had an offer on the table for him. Although not like we haven't, in not so many words, right? They beat around the bush. Basically say they're not saying that they have, but we all know that they have. And Barry Jackson's reported it. The NFL networks reported it, so on and so forth. There is no other teams that we can say, hey, look, the Denver Broncos have, or the Minnesota Vikings have, or the Dallas Cowboys have, or the New York Jets have. But we have Zach Hiller coming out and saying, hey, look, they definitely have. Schefter has reported that I am aware of that, hey, look, there multiple offers are on the table for him. It's a matter of what he's going to choose. And so, I think that there are multiple offers on the table. Now, to play devil's advocate and here, does it behoove Zach Hiller to say that? Yeah. So let's play the scenario that Zach Hiller is lying, which I don't believe that he is, to be fair. But let's say that he is. It is in his best interest for his client to say something like that. And so that's where Lewis comes in. And I don't want to speak for Lewis, but that's where Lewis would come in and say, he needs to say that. That's his client. What else is he going to say? But if it's true, there's a chance that statement is true. And there's multiple things to kind of support that. So there's also a reason, by the way, that he's not getting the offer that he wants. And we all know what that is. And that's running backs are not getting paid what they are asking for in the NFL, period.
Well, I mean that and the aspect of him having surgery and the aspect of him being injured every year. And, all that comes into play with all these free agent running backs also. It doesn't really, like you said, it's not helping his case.
It's not helping whose case?
As far as like all the stuff with the surgeries, with the shoulder injuries, with not playing his full season. Yeah.
Look, teams don't care about that crap anymore.
Apparently they do, because if they're lowballing him.
Every NFL team's lowballing running backs.
Yeah, but not like this, bro. Come on. If we're hearing true stories about this being below 4.
What are you talking about? Not like
what do you mean? What am I talking about? You see, this is the problem I hate. When I start making sense, you make me look like a nut.
No, I'm not. Look, Cap, let's be real about it, right?
Did I lowball Dalvin Cook or not? No, the Dolphins did. Come on, bro.
Okay,
That's reality.
Right. Cap, listen. The only running backs in the NFL that are getting paid what they're worth are Derrick Henry. Then there's a drop off. And then the 2 or 3 other people are people that were franchise tagged. Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, and Saquon Barkley. Nobody else.
Yeah, I know that. I told you that a month ago, and you were giving me pushback about that.
Christian McCaffrey's making like $16 million.
Yeah, okay, bro. I told these guys that a month ago, and I was getting pushback. Now they're on board with it.
All right, so that's fair. Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, then 3 franchise tags, which I don't believe count personally. And then we're talking a cliff drop.
James Conner in Arizona is making $7.5 million.
Okay, well, that's not 10.
Again, but
James Conner's making what?
$7 million a year. We did it last night on the show to prove all this narrative that running backs and this and that. Bro, the fact of the matter is, I agree now. I agree with Steven. Running backs are not they're being devalued. I get it.
Yes.
That's why they're holding out.
By the way, good word. I like that. Devalued. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, they're getting devalued. We all know it, right? But going back to Dalvin Cook, bro, again, this offer stuff needs to stop. We've seen it before, Steven. You've been a fan of this team for I don't know how long now. How many times have you heard, damn, it feels like Miami's outbidding themselves? It just feels like there's no other offer. I'm still waiting. Show me Adam Schefter. Show me all these guys that say multiple offers. Where's it at?
It's always us, bro. Everybody always uses Miami as leverage. Now you guys are starting to realize that. I've been saying it for fucking months. I mean, sorry, Swear
everybody says
$2.
All the time. It's always
real quick.
All the time.
Hey, breaking news. Adam Schefter tweeting, New York Times has announced it's disbanding its sports department. That's big. That's big, by the way. Need people to know how big that is.
That's because Aaron Rodgers told
bro, newspapers are dying, bro.
He can't handle the heat.
New York Times disbanding its sports department. Crazy. All right. So I like what Green Rat just said. Offer versus a contract. I think the statement is he's had multiple offers on the table. There hasn't been multiple contracts.
Offer is a contract. See, no, that's again.
Not necessarily
yes, it is.
Yes,
it is.
Come on, it's semantics. Come on.
It's semantics, right? I was about to say that, Cap. It's semantics, right? And that's fair to say. But
an offer is a contract, Steven. Stop. There's no way you can defend that.
Let's be fair. Let's talk about some of these teams. Okay. Is it out of the question to think that Dallas has not at least said, well, hey, Dalvin, hey, your representation. They went to Zach Keller and said, what would it take for him to be in a Dallas Cowboy uniform?
Okay, that's fine.
Well,
what does that mean?
This is what we're willing to do. Same thing with Denver with Sean Payton. Sean Payton
that's called interest.
That's called interest. Yes, exactly. That's calling to gauge what your client is thinking, right? Same thing Miami did. But when Miami gauged, and Miami came calling, guess what came with it? An offer.
Yeah, we offered. Contract. You want to come home? We offered you.
The Jets called, Denver called, Dallas called, whoever else you want to name. They called. There's no offer. So again, what I'm posing to the question is, why would Miami? Because every space I go into on Twitter and every YouTube channel, every time I go in there's the numbers going up for Dalvin. Well, all we would have to do is maybe give Dalvin $1 million some more, or $2 million more, or a incentive here. Why? Why would we do that if there's no other offers?
I'll tell you, for me, and I've been guilty of it by saying numbers. Now I will say, I don't think it's fair to say numbers right now because we don't know what the official number is.
But
we all have an idea of what we think it is, but
it doesn't matter what the official number is. We're not coming off it because, again, Steven, no, it does, bro. It could be $2 million. If nobody comes with another offer, then the $2 million stands. It doesn't matter what the number is.
So let's say this: if what you're saying is correct, and that a team has not come, are you saying that no other team has at least had a conversation with Zach Keller?
No, bro. How many times is this thing on? Am I speaking English?
I want you to be very specific. Do you believe that other teams have inquired?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you believe? So you believe other teams have inquired? Do you
Right.
believe other teams have talked numbers with Zach Killer
I don't care what they talk about.
in
The
detail?
problem is, again, I don't
I'm
care what
asking
they
you yes
talk.
or no questions. Answer the question, man.
I don't know.
I know he used
I
Miami
don't know.
as a guinea pig
I
to
don't
set
know.
that number, and Miami didn't
Again,
budge.
see,
Miami,
you're
so
trying.
you're saying he's leveraging Miami to try to get a better number from somewhere
He
else?
tried to use Miami to put that
wants
number and
to
set
be
that
in
number. Miami's
Miami.
like, nah, we're going to wait till July 17th, but we're going to give you this because you want to come home. We're going to give you an offer,
We're
but you're not
not
going to use
waiting
this
for
as a
no-
mule to set the market. Hell no.
We're not even waiting for July 17th. You see, everybody is wrong. We're waiting for another offer to be on the table, period. Because until that happens, Miami doesn't have to do anything because the only offer out there is from Miami. So if Miami is at $4.5 million right now and there's no other offer, guess what, Dalvin? You're either going to come to Miami and play for this $4.5 million, or you can sit your happy ass on your couch and watch football.
No, or wait till somebody gets hurt and take
Period.
advantage of that.
Where's
What are y'all missing? Are y'all missing? Is this thing on? Y'all want me to start talking in Spanish?
Hello? Is this
Like,
thing
what's
on?
going on here? Y'all don't understand the concept.
Pero Maria,
Miami is not putting no more money until a offer comes across Chris Greer's desk that says the New York Jets have offered $6.5 million. Chris Greer, what do you want to do about that? And now the Miami Dolphins can sit as a unit in the room, McDaniel and all the upper-ups, right? And say, you know what? Is Dalvin Cook really, do we need him? Let's go to 7, or let's match the offer at 6.5 or whatever. But until another offer is sent in, right, where Dalvin Cook or his representation can show that to Miami, Miami is standing pat. And that's what they should be doing.
and I'm okay with it. To be honest with you, I'm okay with
for
it.
everybody to understand. I don't care about interested. Everybody's, they're interested. Well, guess what? I don't know if someone hit the lottery, but on every time I'm driving, it says the lottery.
Hey,
okay.
Boomer Esiason, okay,
Right. Oh, I was waiting for this. Go ahead.
has said that that he said that Minnesota currently has a $7 million contract on the table for Dalvin.
And he also said in that same thing that Drew
Minnesota
Rosenhaus
cut him
is
too.
his agent. In that same statement, he said Drew Rosenhaus is Dalvin Cook's agent.
And like we haven't made mistakes of saying stuff that we know.
That guy,
He said what at the end? That Drew was his agent?
Boomer Esiason is a clown, Steven. Stop. I was waiting for that. I'm
just saying, Minnesota cut him too. So they want to give him a contract, but they cut him. You get what I'm saying?
Man,
They're not.
Man, please. Y'all want Dalvin so bad, y'all will make up any narrative in the world so Miami overpays him just so he'll put a Dolphin uniform on. Man, please. And if Dalvin...
hey, let's get something straight. I'm not saying anything about him being in a Dolphins uniform. I even said publicly this morning.
You guys been saying it for 3 months. Now all of a sudden, nobody wants to talk Dalvin?
No.
What happened?
With every day, Cap, with every day that we get closer to training camp, I am less and less likely to believe that he signs with the Dolphins.
Oh, now, okay. So all the pushback that everybody was getting for not being on board with Dalvin Cook, you think that was right? That was rightfully done? Like, that's another thing I don't like about the fan base, bro. They're quick and fickle to get on people and team up on people. Now the narrative is not working, man. Everybody's turning ghost.
All right, so Cap, here's why it's fair, right? To Lewis's point, I love the word that he used. I'll give him credit. It's not an original word. It's just I like the word. NFL running backs are devalued in this NFL economy, right? They're devalued. With that being said, okay, we have to understand that this is a little bit different because running backs are trying to get their foothold on being respected pay grade wise in the community, in NFLPA circles, in everything. I guarantee you that NFLPA, although there's no president right now, but I'm sure that there are reps within the NFLPA, that running backs in general have gotten together to talk about them being devalued, and that people are saying, hey, look, if we want this to work, we kind of need to come together and say, this is the money that we need. I believe that Saquon, Tony Pollard, and Josh Jacobs were given the franchise tag because they were not going to re-sign and they needed a running back to resign, and they said, hell, what's the extra 3 or 4 million? Screw it.
Yeah, but that's like a kind of oxymoron comment to say. Like, you're devaluing running back, but we're going to give you the franchise tag, which is worth more.
They're giving for a 1-year deal. They're not.
That's fine, but you're still evaluating them on a franchise tag for 1 year, and that's proving value. That's not proving, devalue.
Let's go to Josh Jacobs. I think he's.
I get what you're saying, but if you got 3 running backs with franchise tags, that means they're not being devalued. They're being used for leverage to have the contract set, but it's more than the asking price of $4 million. Let's agree on that.
Actually, Tony Pollard's a better example. Let's go to Tony Pollard's case in Dallas. Tony Pollard knows the playbook. He knows how to work with Dak. He knows how to work with all the backups there. They don't need to bring in a new running back to learn the playbook inside and out. So for an extra $3 to $4 million of what they probably would be happy on spending, they said, you know what? We'll sacrifice the extra $3 to $5 million, and we'll just pay him more than what running backs are being valued for, because he knows the playbook, and he'll get paid more than what he wants or what he believes he deserves on a 1-year deal. And we don't have to do anything long term with him.
Yeah, but that's going to hurt other teams because you have to raise up the price.
No running backs in the NFL are getting signed long term. They're not.
Nobody. They're not. And the running back.
And by the way, Lewis, I'll do you one better. I'll even say that there's a good scenario out there that's what Dalvin's looking for more than the money per year. He wants somebody to invest into him for 3 or 4 years.
I would agree with that. And we're not.
So what do you think?
Either.
You think it's a 1-year deal or 2-year deal?
It doesn't matter what it is.
Being offered right now, probably 1 to 2 years. It doesn't make any sense for Miami to go to him and say, here's a 3-year deal worth $8.5 million per year. That would be stupid.
Yeah, I don't think it's the money, bro. I think it's the years.
Now, there are people in the chat and there are fans everywhere that'll say, hey, the Dolphins should sacrifice that if it gets them a Super Bowl ring next year. Then who cares what the money is after that?
I don't want to hear nothing about offensive line this season, bro. I swear to God.
I'm not even getting into that, Cap. I'm basically saying, hey, look, here's what Dalvin, the offers that he's taking are 1-2-year deals top. They're probably not for anything more than 7.5 or 8.5 million, in my opinion. But as I stated earlier, I don't think it's fair to say the numbers because we don't know what the numbers are officially. Okay. We haven't even been told what the contract offer will look like.
Right.
I think it's a short-term contract. It's low-balled on the low side of the money side.
So, I mean, you're hearing from the community, though, 4.5. That's what I'm hearing in the community.
Okay, that's fine. So let's say that is the case then in that scenario. NFL running backs and NFLPA are sitting there saying, here's what we're going to do. We're either going to get paid $10 million a year or $9 million a year if they're going to give us a 1 or 2 year deal. Or they're going to give us a 3 or 4 year deal at the price that they want to give us to with guaranteed money. And teams right now are deciding, is it smart for me to offer a 4-year contract to an aging running back who has a history of injuries? So let's say it was 4.5 mil. 4.5 mil on a 4-year deal. Let's say he says, you know what, I'll take the 4.5, but you got to sign me for 4 years and it needs to be all guaranteed. 4, 8, 12, 16, $18 million for 4 years. That's not horrible, but at the same time, that's $18 million that you're giving to a running back who, by the way, the average running back in the NFL gets paid what? 2.5?
Exactly. And he'll be 32 in that contract. And bro, stop.
Exactly.
No,
I
want to meet both you guys halfway. I want to get that the running back position is being devalued. I get that. And I get Steven's point also. But if you got 3 franchise tag guys that haven't done anything yet, you have to wait till after the 17th to figure out the market.
There is no market.
Not necessarily, because the franchise tag, if I'm correct, is Pollard the only guy? I think Saquon did too.
You got 3 guys.
I guess they all have signed their contract.
Is Josh Jacobs signed yet?
He signed his franchise tag, so that's 1 year.
Which is how much?
They're waiting till the 17th to see if they're going to sign it or they're going to.
Tony Pollard did sign, I thought.
what Tony Pollard might have did, but Josh Jacobs and Saquon
Can
Barkley
people in the
have not.
chat, can somebody go confirm to
They
me?
haven't, man. I think that's why we're waiting. That's what Bill.
I would like for somebody in the chat to go confirm the running backs that have signed their franchise tag.
I believe it's Tony Pollard. But Saquon and Josh Jacobs have not.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Pollard signed. They told him to take this 10.0.
Right.
Hey, Cap, I'm getting a lot of feedback from you, bud. $10 million.
Mm-hmm. Josh Jacobs has not, and neither has Saquon Barkley.
And neither have Saquon Barkley. Okay.
But guess what they're going to do? They're going to sign it on the 17th. Though.
This even makes my case more, Lewis, because if Tony Pollard signed for 10 and he's getting that, and we know Saquon and Josh Jacobs had better years than Tony did last year, and Tony's had more injuries than Saquon and, well, maybe not Saquon. No, maybe Tony's had an injury-prone career just as much as Saquon has, right? But to be fair,
got a broken leg. That's about it.
Who, Tony or Saquon?
Tony Pollard. Remember, he ended with a broken leg at the season.
I feel like he's been hurt 2 or 3 times in his career. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, that was Ezekiel.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair. So
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does, because that means that Saquon and Josh Jacobs are saying, well, we want to get paid more than 10. And
that's what I'm trying to tell you guys.
And odds are it's not even about the 10. It's about the long-term investment. Saquon wants to know that the Giants are investing in him long-term. Josh Jacobs knows that he has only one good year really to his resume and a lot of mediocre years before that. And so he's leveraging this to get a long-term deal to get the most money that he can. Makes sense to see what Josh Jacobs is doing. I understand why, Saquon is doing that too. So Dalvin, in my opinion, has multiple contract offers on the table.
No.
Is not signing because he's either not getting the long-term at the money he wants and guarantees, or he's not getting the money per year that he wants in a short-term deal.
He's not. It's none of those things. And I'm so tired of people saying we're waiting for July 17th. July 17th has nothing to do with Dalvin Cook, because what's happening, Saquon hasn't signed his franchise tag. Neither has Josh Jacobs. If they don't sign it before July 17th, right, their teams can rescind the franchise tags, and now I think they become free agents. If no team is going to give them what they want, so you know what they're going to do? They're going to break, like every player does. They're going to take that 1-year franchise tag. They're going to play for $10 million, and Josh Jacobs will be on another team next year. So will Saquon Barkley next year, and so will whatever, unless they have
real quick,
and the Giants want to.
Lewis, what's the rule if you don't sign your franchise tag?
Then the team can rescind the tag back, and they can come off that $10 million. And I think the player becomes a free agent.
But if they tag him and he doesn't sign, he just doesn't play for the year. Is that how it works?
I think he becomes a free agent.
Teams, I don't think so, because players.
No, once you sign, that's it. You're stuck. You'll be on the bench if you don't.
You're definitely stuck. But
yeah, but then if they don't sign,
teams wouldn't have leverage with the franchise tag if that wasn't the case. I need somebody to clarify, if a player does not sign his franchise tag, what happens to that player for the season? Good morning, Batman. What's up? How are you?
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Pretty good. What do you
Batman, where's everybody at, bro? What happened to all the Cook guys? Where everybody went?
What happened with what?
Batman, what do you want to talk about this morning, man?
Life?
Talk.
Let's talk about Dalvin Cook.
That's what we've been talking about. Welcome to the show, Batman. Did you just get on? Have you not been listening for the last hour?
He's been depressed the past 24 hours. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I just left the office, so I just tuned in and I saw you were back. So I was like, oh,
let me come on. Let me say hello. I got you.
So I haven't been listening.
Mally Mall says if he doesn't sign, the team still owns his rights for that season. I agree.
Owns his rights, but owns his rights to what? What's the number?
So if I am correct that if a player does not sign their franchise tag by July 17th or whatever, until they sign that tag, the team owns their rights. They have to sit out for a year.
Okay, well then guess what? Then it plays to my point anyway. Then they're going to sign and they're going to play for that 1 year, $10 million. Period. What are we talking about then? So stop bringing up July 17th.
Hey, I'm not saying that it happens often, but there have been. Marino's Goat says they are free agents. I need somebody to confirm.
That's what I thought.
Shake Money says Le'Veon Bell had to sit out because he didn't want to pay the franchise. That's what I thought too. Le'Veon Bell sat out the year because he didn't want to sign the franchise tag.
Absolutely. Okay, perfect. Let's play that scenario out. If the Giants wanted to pay Saquon Barkley, they already got him on the hook for $10 million with the franchise tag, correct? He's not signing that because he wants north of $10 million. The Giants ain't giving him that. Are we really playing that just because it's gonna? You think the Giants are sitting there and like, oh my God, he hasn't signed it. It's July 17th.
I'm telling you, man, somebody's gonna overpay. Somebody's gonna be freaking overpaid.
They're not gonna overpay. It's you guys that are crying about running backs. Running backs do not win games in this league. They don't.
So then why are we fighting for Dalvin Cook if it doesn't matter?
Lewis, let me state this. You are correct. Running backs do not win games in this league. But if you do not have an effective running game, then you are not winning games in this league.
Yeah, man, say that in December.
That's cap, and that's cap. Let me tell you why. Tennessee has a monster of a running back. The best running back that everybody's had. What haven't they had? They had Tannehill at quarterback, right? He's trash, ain't he? Ain't Tannehill trash? Why ain't Tennessee winning no goddamn games?
Tannehill's trash.
Exactly, because it's a quarterback league. You win with quarterbacks. You don't win with running backs.
Yep. All right, let me bring on Mally Mall. Good morning, Mally Mall. You're new to the program. What's going on, man?
Good morning. I just wanted to speak on the running back situation. Saquon hasn't signed his contract because he got franchise tag, but they're also working on a 4-year deal. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I watch Giants podcasts all the time. They're actually working on a deal worth $8.5 million for 3 years. Okay. He don't want to sign because if he signed that franchise tag, he can't sign after the 17th.
Got it. So Saquon is holding out for the long-term deal.
Yes, he's not holding out for the money.
Half hour ago.
That's fair. Okay, so I hear that. That makes a lot of sense. And you're saying that number is allegedly 8.5 mil per year?
From Giants content, it's between 8.5 and 9.5.
All right, so let's play this out. Do we think that Dalvin is better than Saquon, ladies and gentlemen?
You also got to factor in Saquon is the Giants' offense. He's their entire offense.
Exactly. And Dalvin Cook in Minnesota or in Miami is not the Dalvin Cook in Minnesota.
Didn't Minnesota lose to the Giants in the playoffs? That answers your question right there, bro.
And by the way, Mally, do you know if this contract offer allegedly being worked on from the Giants is going to be fully guaranteed? Or what the guaranteed money will be?
After year 2, they will still have to pay him.
He would still be on the books for the salary cap, but he wouldn't.
Hey, Marty Mar, who won in the playoffs? The Giants or the Vikings?
The Giants, but that don't matter, man. Oh my God, I hate where this argument is going. Saquon Barkley ain't getting no long-term deal, and y'all can sit here and try to say whatever the hell y'all want to say. Y'all want to sit here and tell me that
did you guys talk about
a deal? Let me ask you a question.
Did you guys talk
how
about
long
the
has
Vikings?
Miami?
You guys talked about that the Vikings offered Dalvin 7?
Yes,
yeah,
but
Lewis this morning.
No, they did not.
Lewis said that from Boomer, it's a B, that he doesn't believe what Boomer said.
Lewis is adamant that no one's offered Cook a contract but Miami.
I know for a fact Dallas offered Dalvin Cook a $3 million contract for 1 year.
How do you know that? Who's reported that from Dallas?
The Dallas reporters. It's all over Dallas.
Now are they Dallas
$3
YouTubers?
million?
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Are they Dallas YouTubers or Dallas beat reporters?
Dallas beat reporters. We get out. This is a whole thing. Like it's Twitter.
Are you on Twitter? Are you on Twitter,
I want to see that offer.
Mally Mall,
I ain't gonna lie.
Huh?
Are you on Twitter?
I got a Twitter. I just don't use it.
Okay, so can you go see? Can you? Has that been tweeted that it was a 3-year, or was it just said on a podcast?
I'm in the Dallas Facebook thing. I can find it on the Facebook and send it.
Okay. All right. I would be interested to know where that came from, and if you could.
And that's what all of us
tag me
want,
in that.
because that's the argument that we have with Lewis. We only know of our own people that have reported that, with Barry Jackson. But we don't know what other reporters from other teams that official offers have been put out. So the whole thing that we're bidding against ourselves is
Mike Florio tried telling you.
It's nonsense.
Mike Florio tried telling you the Jets are interested. Nobody wants to listen.
We would have heard it.
Interested in offer is completely different.
Exactly, man. Y'all, you know what? This is ridiculous. This is
take a breath.
Ridiculous.
Take a breath, Lewis. It's only 11 o'clock in the morning.
No, hell no, Dave. You just got up here. Don't tell me to hold my breath. Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
What's up, Dave? I missed you, buddy. How are you?
It was good. Yeah, I ain't want to interrupt nobody when they were talking. What's up, Steven? How you been?
Pretty good, man.
That's what's crazy. The agent wants to hype up Aaron Rodgers, but we're the crazy.
I'm on your side. Relax.
All right, hold on. Stack says Jerry Jones on his weekly radio show said the team had no interest in Dalvin Cook. They were excited about their running back room.
Thank you.
I ain't heard no offer. I ain't heard no offer.
Time out, Lewis. You're going to believe what Jerry Jones said on his radio show, but you're not going to believe what Boomer said on WFAN.
Steven, don't put words in my mouth. I'm gonna believe that there's only one offer on the table that we know of, and that's the only fact that's been spewed out today. All this other stuff, y'all just sitting here to talk because you got to fill a 3-hour time slot. Y'all just talking to talk. Lewis,
to be fair.
But think about it like this here. Do y'all think Jerry would only offer 3? Jerry always overpays.
Jerry don't overpay. We don't sign free agents.
Shit,
we don't sign.
That man love throwing that wallet around.
We sign our own players. We don't sign free agents.
All right, well, I'm not a big Jerry Jones. Let me ask you, Molly, are you a Jerry Jones fan? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, he got us 5 Super Bowls. Why wouldn't I be?
Because he hasn't done anything for you in the last decade and a half.
We made the playoffs. All I want is us to make the playoffs.
How many playoff games have you won in the last?
I'll take a last decade and a half compared to 50 years, Steven.
2?
We got a shot. We in the playoffs.
Hey, look, we haven't been in the playoffs. I'll give you that. So, I mean, we did last year. So, look, I'll say this: when it comes to, the alleged offers, Lewis, I think that it's unfair to say. I think Batman is correct in the fact that we're not seeing what the beat reporters in Minnesota or Dallas or New York or necessarily saying.
That's cap. That's cap.
Hold on. Let me finish my statement. We believe what Barry Jackson says for the most part because he's accurate 85, 90% of the time.
Right.
We don't know the Barry Jackson in Dallas. We don't know the Barry Jackson in Minnesota.
You don't need to know them. Again, you are making your mute point. You don't need to know them. The fact of the matter is, if there was an offer, you would have heard about it. I don't give a damn who's saying it. Y'all making it seem like, it's a Barry Jackson, so it's a bit of gospel. I don't believe Barry Jackson neither. I know there's an offer on the table.
Lewis, to be fair, and I love you, you're my brother, I think a majority of the people up here would believe Barry Jackson way before they believe you.
I'm not asking them to. Steven, again, that's where you're wrong. I don't care if Omar Kelly, Big O, if you would have came out and reported it, Steven, right? But if you had the facts behind it,
anything.
I'm just saying, Steven, it don't matter to me who it would have been. All I'm saying is if it would have been reported that Miami has an offer, I don't care who says it. Y'all are trying to make it seem like, it matters who says it.
But Lewis,
there's only one offer on the table.
In the same breath, you're also making it seem like if you don't see it, it's never happened, and that's unfair to the process because we.
We want to talk about what's not official. Let me be the first one to say. It is the only official offer is from the Miami Dolphins. Let me play the scenario out for you guys, Steven. Let me tell you what you guys are doing.
Hold on, Lewis. Answer me this before you go into your
I believe there's 31 other teams. No, it's not going to be long, Stephen. I believe all 31 teams have an offer for Dalvin Cook. I believe all 31 teams have looked. I believe Buffalo has inquired about Dalvin Cook. Is there an offer on the table? I believe the Philadelphia Eagles inquired about Dalvin Cook. Is there an offer on the table? No. The only offer, and that's what you guys are missing. There's one offer. I don't care what other teams have called the agent. I don't care what other teams have talked to Dalvin Cook. The facts are there's one offer as of July 10th? There's one offer, and it's ours. That's it. So until there's another offer from another team that is in front of Chris Grier, why in the hell should Chris Grier budge on his original offer? Is what I'm saying.
Can I help out a little bit here, Steve?
I got a question.
Hold on 1 second.
I got a question.
I'm going to go, then Color, then Dade. Let me just say, Lewis, it's not because that. No, I don't think anybody here is arguing that the Dolphins should go up from their number. People might want to, but we're not having the argument about that. The argument or the debate,
hell no, stay killed, Chris Grier. You're doing a good job.
Yeah. I think the debate here is what leverage does Dalvin have that he's holding out for a bigger number? Because
zero.
Is it all hearsay in his agent?
Maybe that's what he's trying to figure out.
And Lewis has a point to a certain extent, but we know goodness well, being Dolphins fans, that years later it's come out that the Dolphins have, unofficially had this offer on the table and they didn't take it. That player X didn't take it.
Well, of course, because if they don't, then there's going to be seen by their fans as not doing their diligence, man. Come on, bro. I've sat here and listened to nothing but appeal to authority after appeal to authority fallacy all morning.
Facts.
One minute we can believe everything everybody says. The next minute it's the trash media and the organization, and nobody can believe what anybody says. We have to decide whether we're going to believe what we're going to actually believe and hold water to. And one other
I
thing,
blame the community.
one other thing is that you said that we only know what our beat writers are saying. That's not true, because your boy Color Commentary does actually know what the Dallas beat writers are saying, because he reported it on his show. But everybody wants to ignore the fact that Dallas said they were in on Dalvin Cook back when the stuff first started. Okay, when it became clear to them, however it became clear to them, Dalvin wasn't wanting to play in Dallas. Okay, for whatever reason that is, whether he didn't like their offer, whether they wouldn't give him an offer, whether they wouldn't make it clear to him, whatever the reason is, we don't know. Okay, what we do know is their beat writers then reported that if the Miami Dolphins acquired Dalvin Cook, they would likely be making a play for Raheem Mostert. But because everybody thinks they know who we would trade, they want to ignore what I was saying because they don't see it as anything to hold water to, because we wouldn't trade Raheem Mostert. Wilson Jr. is the best player to trade. Well, Dallas don't want Jeff Wilson Jr. They want Raheem Mostert.
Yeah.
Back up Tony Pollard. Because when Jimmy Johnson said that they're happy with their running back room, they were talking about RB1. Their beat reporters took that to mean that they are 100% behind in support of Tony Pollard, and they want to get him a good veteran backup that's not young and going to demand a bunch of long-term money. And that guy is Raheem Mostert.
1,000%.
Color, can I ask you a question? Do you believe that Dalvin Cook has a offer, unofficially or officially, on the table from somebody else besides Miami?
Again, this is what I'm trying to back Lewis up on when I just came up. This is what got me to finally come up. It's okay. If you've ever gotten a job with a major corporation, you can get hired by the hiring manager. You can do all the paperwork. You ain't starting one single day until you sign that letter from HR that's called an offer letter. There has been, what Lewis is saying is the Miami Dolphins have laid out an offer letter for Dalvin Cook. If he signs it, he's a Miami Dolphin tomorrow. Facts. What Lewis is also saying is the Miami Dolphins are the only team that have done that.
Facts.
Whatever you think about how many unofficial offers there are out there, how much talking there's been done. Of course there's been talking. His agent had to talk to Dallas. How else would Dallas know that they don't have any chance to get Dalvin Cook?
But Color, I just want you to answer yes or no. Do you believe that there is another team that would offer?
No, because this gets back to what's on record as fact. The only reporting of an actual offer sheet for a guy to sign is what Minnesota, whatever Minnesota wanted to give him, and our offer letter. There has been no official report by anybody that somebody else has laid a piece of paper in front of Dalvin and said, this is our offer letter, sign it or not. No other team has been reported to do that.
So when Adam, and I'm just clarifying, I'm having a conversation.
I know what you're about to ask, and when Adam Schefter said that, he was speaking off the cuff, as like you're saying that teams are talking to him.
Okay.
Exactly.
But there is no Adam Schefter. I don't see anywhere where Adam Schefter said there was an offer put on the table and a pen handed to the man.
All right.
And I hate real quick, Steven, because I need to address somebody in the chat. Dwayne D's been going at me all damn morning, and Wayne D was like, "Oh, now Lewis don't want to believe what's the beat reporter for Barry Jackson." But he was like, "Oh, Lewis, when Barry Jackson was reporting that Lamar Jackson was coming, you believe that? When in the hell did you hear Lewis come out and say we were getting Lamar Jackson because Barry Jackson reported it? I said we were going to go get Lamar Jackson because I wanted Lamar Jackson. So get your damn facts straight."
And as far as what was said on the podcast, what was said on the podcast was, you can believe it whether you want to or not. That's not the issue, okay? But regardless of how many times you say that you believe the words out of his agent's mouth, it still doesn't make it not a fallacy. It is a fallacy to appeal to that authority when he is going to say nothing else. What is he going to say? Nah, nobody's freaking calling me up, man. I got a pig here. You know what I mean?
Hey, Steven, when Dalvin Cook's agent came on your show, did he consider Miami a Super Bowl contender or say Tua was a Super Bowl contending quarterback?
Yeah, not in so many words. Yes,
not in so many words, but did he say it?
So I got to ask the question: has anybody on this panel in the audience, Stephen D, have you guys ever witnessed an agent when he was asked that question say, "Nah, nobody wants this cat"?
Yeah, no, you haven't. You haven't. That's fair.
According to Todd, Dallas beat reporter, Dallas rescinded Dalvin Cook order once Tony Pollard signed his franchise tag.
Right. And they went full in on Tony Pollard. That was the message from Jerry Jones when he said he's happy with the running back room.
Shake Money just donated $5 for Lewis's swear jar.
That's my man.
And so Stephen D, even if it is true, because it does make sense that other teams have probably made phone calls. It does make sense. Okay, but even if it is true, it's still a fallacy to appeal to it because the agent is going to say nothing else. It doesn't give us any answer when an agent says, yeah, plenty of people are calling my guy. That doesn't give us any answers.
All right, so
you can believe it or not believe it, but regardless, it doesn't give us any answers.
So do you think part of the reason that the Dolphins are officially the only ones to give him a quote-unquote offer, paper offer, is that he's basically said he wants to go nowhere?
He wants to be a dog. Absolutely.
Or it could be possible that the ones that were about to, he made it clear to them that he wasn't going to want to play for them, i.e. Dallas.
It's the worst kept secret in the NFL, bro.
So Lewis's statement earlier is that
he screwed
Zach
himself.
Taylor and Dalvin Cook screwed themselves by telling the world where.
Well, it's getting there. I don't think they're there yet. That's where I'll disagree with Lewis at, but I think they're getting there. It could very well backfire on them. Absolutely.
Absolutely, it backfires. When Dalvin Cook sits on the Rich Eisen show and he says, Miami's the perfect place. It's a perfect scheme fit. I love the players. I would love to play in Miami. Right there, that statement screwed himself. Y'all can say what y'all want. I don't really care. I've never been here to change people's minds. I'm just here to tell people when they're wrong. And you guys are wrong. Period.
Good talk, Lewis.
What are we
Can I ask my question now?
Yeah, Dade. Go ahead, Dade.
Hell no, Dade.
Like I said, man, shut up. everybody, y'all know I came on late, so I'm just trying to figure out the report this morning from, I guess, Boomer, that little video was on.
Mm-hmm.
Did he not say that the Minnesota offered 7?
So yes, he did, but in the same breath, he said Drew Rosenhaus was his representation, and so people are questioning Boomer's thing because it has incorrect information in it. And so,
okay, well, I understand that point, but I mean,
he's
that could
also
also,
a Jets fan. So what information did we get from that? He's a Jets fan.
I think it's here's what I'll say. Running a show for 3 years, I have said on multiple occasions the wrong thing. Okay, and
that's what I'm getting at.
So
can I just
I'm
pose
not
this
saying
question?
it's out of the question that would happen.
I mean, there's a
you
chance
think-
he can go back to
do you
Minnesota.
think?
Do I think that it's real?
Right.
I'm not. I'm not. To
I'll
be
just-
fair, I'm not a huge Boomer fan, but
Do you think?
I
Hold on,
think
real quick.
I think it's likely that it could be true.
Do you think if Minnesota had an offer right now at $7 million,
Mhm.
what are the chances that we would have woke up this morning and Good Morning Football would have led with that story? What are the chances that Adam Schefter, Tom Pelissero, the other guy what are the chances that we would have heard already there's an offer of $7 million from Minnesota? Screw what Boomer Esiason said. We have guys that is their job, to find out news and report the news. If there is an offer from Minnesota with $7 million on it, right, that is offered, right, why hasn't it been reported by no major network? By Adam Schefter, Tom Pelissero, all the inside guys. Why hasn't that been reported? That's the question I have.
Well, Boomer just said, okay, well, Boomer just said it this morning, so maybe everybody trying to fact check Boomer, and maybe you're going to see more stuff throughout the day. You never know. It's still early in the morning.
Okay. So
I
now
can see if we were saying this around 4 p.m. You know what I mean? All I'm saying, Lewis, look, I'm not fighting with you. I'm not pushing back with you, Lewis. All I'm saying is, you could be saying everything that you're saying and be completely in the right, or a little later in the day, like around 3 or 4. Then we know, okay, yeah, what was said earlier is bullshit because nobody else has reported it. You know what I mean? But it's still early, so you kind of got to take it with a grain of salt.
You think Boomer Esiason has more inside information than Adam Schefter, Tom Pelissero, those guys, Ian Rappaport?
No, but I do believe people will talk to him. No, I don't, but I do believe people will talk to him and tell him stuff.
And they will talk to Adam Schefter and Tom Pelissero and all
treat him
them.
like he's just a regular Joe Schmo on the street.
And again, they're not treating Adam Schefter and Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport like Joe Schmoes. Bro, y'all need to stop the cat. I'm not saying you, Dade. I'm just saying bro, stop. Y'all.
No, I know, because I ain't made no takes. You can't be talking to me. I ain't made no takes. I'm just saying. I heard. I sent you the video this morning.
It's likely Boomer. It's likely that Boomer, being in the kind of mainstream area, it's likely that he has some kind of source or information that he, as a Jets fan, can at least construe to mean certain things. So that if it ever gets found out to be incorrect, he can say, "Well, it was the virtue of being the truth." You know what I mean?
That's
because I was working with this information.
In that same breath, Boomer does have inside. He has people that he knows inside the organization.
Look at
but they could also be manipulating him. They could be manipulating him. You know.
Hey, Steven, look at DDG comment. Is that true?
Thought that they offered him $7 million before he was released.
You can fill these holes on your team if Dalvin do go sign with Stockdale. So
hold on, let Steven address that comment. Go ahead, Steven, read it again.
So DDG says they offered him he believes that they offered them the $7 million before he was released. And that's the offer.
Right.
And he turned
that was the offer on the table that he could either sign or be cut. Or that was what they were going to offer him if if he didn't get cut.
That offer is not on the table now. That's an offer was there. And
so Boomer's talking about something from months ago, just to help him hype up the price.
Hold up. We do not know exactly where Boomer's getting his information from or what it's from. We do kind of know, I guess, that it was a $7 million offer on the table before he was released. Now it's entirely plausible that the Minnesota Vikings and Dalvin Cook basically said, hey, look, that offer's still good if you want to come back home. If you want to come back and play for the Dolphins, we'll still give you the $7 million.
Yeah, what was originally meant as a signal to us for trade purposes is now still a legit offer. You know what I mean?
I think that's fair. And I think by the way, Minnesota released him basically because he wouldn't sign and they were being fair to him.
Mhm.
I still think Minnesota would love to have him back.
Right. He just don't want to be there.
Well, I mean, if you look at their offensive production, but if you look at their offensive production, their production at quarterback and their production in the wide receiver room, it is predicated upon two people, Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
The quarterback could be anybody, as illustrated by his productivity. But again, I can't imagine Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings even near being contending for that division without a running back like Dalvin Cook.
They have a backup.
I see a drop off for Jefferson if Dalvin don't go back.
That's possible because that's the drop off in Kirk Cousins feeding him the ball, right?
Molly Ball, go ahead, Molly.
I said the Vikings have running back.
That's cap. There's no way in hell that Justin Jefferson's going to have a drop off. Y'all said the same crap about Mahomes dropping off when Tyreek Hill left him. Stop the nonsense. That's freaking cap.
Turn up, Crypto. Turn up.
Nonsense. I'm not finna sit up there and hit no slate against Justin Jefferson. Reason why Cook is producing because of Jefferson.
Well, they're two different positions, first of all, so you can't even make that. You can't even make that comparison. No, first of all, let me finish. They're two different positions, and one is predicated upon the other not falling off. So if you're gonna tell me that Kirk Cousins is Patrick Mahomes, then no, there'll be no drop off for Justin Jefferson.
You don't have to be Patrick Mahomes.
Are you kidding me? A wide receiver? Did I not just illustrate over the last 4 weeks that a wide receiver and a quarterback are both dependent upon each other?
That's fine.
Did I not just illustrate that with all the work I put in?
Yeah, but that's pretty obvious.
Cousins didn't need freaking Dalvin Cook for Justin Jefferson to be productive. That's my point.
Productive, okay. Above average production. I'm not talking number one production like last year. He's not going to be number one if a decent running back's not there.
All right,
Nobody's saying he's going to fall off the face of the earth, Crypto. We're just saying his numbers not going to be the same.
See that? But Dade County, that's how they rail me for last year's Mahomes prediction because I just said somewhat of a regression. They acted like I said he was going to be Mike Glennon or something.
They got decent enough freaking running back production now. That's why they was able to move off of Dalvin.
How do you know that? They haven't played a game yet. You don't know that.
Well, you play Madison in your fantasy and have fun with that.
Man, all I know is the Vikings lost to the Giants in the playoffs, bro.
Hey, can we stay on Dalvin Cook and not get with Kirk Cousins?
The point is, it was freaking Justin Jefferson that they relied on in that Buffalo game on 4th and 19.
And let's keep it on Dalvin Cook. Let's talk about Dalvin.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, because Dalvin Cook was there way before Jefferson anyway. And he was being productive way before Jefferson got there.
That's right. That's right. Otherwise, Teddy Bridgewater.
I did not miss y'all interrupting. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Only 46 likes, 112 of y'all watching. Donate to the channel if you're able to. Help the channel grow. Right now, we are doing a Dolphins chat. We got Dolphins fans from all over the YouTube community and fan base on here right now. Want to remind y'all, tomorrow is going to be Tuesday, Hot Take Tuesday, and we'll be on tomorrow. I will be here tomorrow, just so everybody knows, and we'll be doing this all over again tomorrow. So I am looking forward to that. I got somebody else in the back room.
And I'm willing to make
have it on with you.
Justin Jefferson going to have better numbers this year without him. I'm willing to make that bet.
Okay.
What?
Okay, Crypto.
All right, let's keep it on.
Anyway,
Dalvin. We're talking about Justin Jefferson.
But who you doing a show with tomorrow?
Right now, I'm not sure. Right now, I'm not sure. But Blessed Man Sports, what's up,
That's how
Blessed
much
Man?
money
How
I'm
are you?
willing to put on it.
Chilling, baby. What you doing?
Crypto, take
What's going on, man? You want to get in on this conversation about Dalvin?
I was just checking in. Man. I see where everybody has the we're here. We know we're in the dog days of July before training camp starts. We need shit to talk about. You know what I mean? And we're just going back and forth. We say we're here waiting for Dame Lillard to get signed, Dalvin Cook to get signed. A lot of stress, man.
The city of Miami's in a holding pattern right now when it comes to
serious holding.
What they're going to do from a standpoint of, are we going to wait for waiting for Damien Lillard, waiting for Dalvin Cook? What's going to happen with that? By the way, AD just donated $10. Shout out to AD for donating $10. Appreciate it.
It's crazy, Steven, man. Isn't it crazy how hot the city is though? Like everybody want to come here. Basketball,
baseball.
Football,
Look, we're in the All-Star break. The home run derby is tonight. Super excited about that, by the way.
Crazy.
I love watching the home run derby. I went to the one here in DC several years ago, and it was crazy. It was awesome. But one of the things about the All-Star break is kind of the indicator of trade deadline approaching within the next 3.5 weeks. So I'm excited to see what the Marlins do from that standpoint. But you're right. Everybody wants to come to South Florida right now. Baseball, basketball, hockey, football.
Like who?
Soccer.
Who wants to go?
Here. Messi's here.
This is a passing league. They pass to set up the run, not the other way around.
Dalvin Cook don't.
Dalvin Cook wants to come. No, Dalvin Cook wants to come here, but Miami wants to bring him on Miami's terms, not on Dalvin Cook's terms.
Miami's being very smart.
It sound good. Ain't nobody signed. It sound good, but ain't nobody signed here yet. So I don't know y'all making that statement.
Exactly.
And all I know is if you want to come home, if you want to come home, come home. Don't hype up the Jets and Aaron Rodgers and then all of a sudden come back home. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make sense, man. Either you come home. You got to offer from home.
To be fair,
it's business, though.
It's business, man. And
I get it's business, bro. But come on, hyping up Aaron Rodgers and saying the Jets are a Super Bowl team and not saying we are, that's a little bit too much butter.
Now you're getting emotional, bro. That's just business.
Man, it's not emotional. You on here because you're talking about it also. It's not about emotions. It's about what's right and what's right, what's wrong, what's wrong. You want to come home? Come home. You think $2 million, $3 million is going to break you? Yeah, but
Cap.
Well, look. First of all, you can't dig in that man's pockets like that, Cap.
Oh yeah, it's gonna break.
And you can't dig in mine either. You've been digging in my pocket for 25 years.
Cap, get on mute because you're getting a lot of feedback.
No, I'm just saying, man. You've been digging in my pocket for 25 years. I mean, you can't sit there. You've been digging in my pocket for 25 years. I think I have right to say something.
Cap, here's what I'll say.
You do have a point there, Cap. If they was digging in your pockets, you have a right to dig in theirs.
Hold on. Here's what I'll say to you, Cap.
You damn straight. Ain't nobody gonna tell me different.
When you're looking at what you're saying,
Dalvin
is not. Guys, let me talk. Dalvin is not only representing Dalvin Cook, he's also representing the other running backs throughout the NFL. So Dalvin has more pressure on him because Dalvin could be the domino that falls for what's going to happen with Saquon, what's going to happen with Josh Jacobs. Is that fair? No.
The Dolphins ain't representing all these other running backs.
And you're 100% correct, Lewis.
Why do we assume that he is? Why do we assume that Dalvin Cook gives two damns about the other running backs and whether they get their money?
Care about no other running back.
Well, here's why I believe that he is.
Then come home.
Ain't nobody getting extra points for championing the running back cause of the NFL. Come on, man.
Because running backs, as Lewis said, they're devalued, and they know that they're devalued. They're not getting.
Yeah, but what does he care? He doesn't. He's going to play 3 more years in this league.
Yeah, but
what does he care?
Yeah, but he's not going to sit there and take $4 million either.
Okay, that may be true for himself, but this idea that he's going for some noble title of being the savior of the running backs in the NFL, no, he don't care.
That could be the difference in 3 years of $10 to $15 million difference over 3 years. And if I have a chance to make
for himself, bro, for himself,
I said that for himself,
guys.
Could be the difference. By him,
I'm saying that he is not representing anybody but himself. He is not representing Saquon Barkley and the running backs at large.
Okay, but if he takes a deal for $4 million when he wanted one for $8, that hurts his position group, which in return hurts them.
And the players union is going to step in as well. They're a part of this. Don't forget that. There's also a players union here.
Yeah, I mean, and to think that the players union reps are not having conversations with Zach Hiller, Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, all their representation is asinine to me, because the players union is a part of trying to get the running backs value up more.
And what award is he going to get for that?
What I'm
so if he takes $4.5 million when he wanted $8 million, right? And that means everybody else only gets $4.5 million.
Okay,
why does he care? He still got what he was going to get.
Okay, so Color, this is why he cares, because you said he plays 3 more years, right? You take 3 years, and the average salary of a running back right now is $4 million, which I don't know. I think it's lower than that personally per year. But let's say he gets paid $4 million this year, or 4.5. when he's asking for 8 or 8.5. Let's say it's a $4 million difference. 4 times 3, 4, 8, 12. That's a $12 million difference over 3 years.
According to the agent, that doesn't matter.
Okay, now you're making a different argument. You're arguing as to why he should hold out and wait. I'm talking about the fact that he don't give two ever-loving shits about any other running back in their money.
Well, yeah, but I think I was talking first, and I said the reason that he wants to play is for a Super Bowl. Then what are we playing the numbers games for? You want to play for a Super Bowl, right?
It's so much bigger than that.
Y'all, winning ain't everything. Bro, some of these players worry about.
It's bigger for the agent. It's not bigger for Dalvin.
Look, Dalvin's interest in the NFL players and the running backs' interest are aligned. They are aligned right now.
Only if one of those other running backs are slated to sign before him. Right. Otherwise, he's going to be the one to affect them, not the other way around.
It benefits. Everything is aligned, though. Their interests align right now.
Bro, if he has a finite amount of time left in the league and he is only going to get what he's going to get, that's a signal that it's only going to get lower in the future. Why does he care if he ruins everybody else's money by taking what he can get?
Because all right, so Color, you and I both agree that Dalvin is a top 10 running back in the league, right?
What I'm saying is, if he can only get that, then he is not the one that ruined everybody else's money.
I want to get on the same page as you, and I want you to understand where I'm coming from and vice versa, or find a way to commonly meet in the middle. So answer these couple questions for me, Color. Do you believe that Dalvin is a top 10 running back?
I guess that's the consensus.
Okay, so the consensus is he's a top 10 running back in the league. We also agree that running backs are devalued in this league, right?
I haven't ever agreed with that. I don't see a correction as devalued.
Okay, so do you agree that the NFL's Players Association's outlook on the running back pay is being devalued?
No, I think
public
what they value in a running back is lower. Yes.
Okay, so all right, so there we go. So we're on the same page there. So now we're going into this and saying, okay, we have a top 10 running back in the league at a position that's already being publicly saying that it's being devalued. So now we have to say, okay, let's say now I'm going to separate it person by person. We go to Dalvin Cook. I need to do what's best for me. I need to get paid. Right now, I know
right.
Million.
So is he going to turn down $4.5 million because of Saquon Barkley?
Hold on. I have $4.5 million being offered right now. It's July 10th. I don't necessarily need to make a decision today. I can play the game of chicken, try to hold out for more, play the field, make
for himself. I don't disagree with that.
I'm trying to figure out where we disagree. So right now,
where we disagree is you think that Saquon and all these other running backs enter his mind at all. That's what you think, and that's what I disagree on.
Okay, Color. Work with me here, okay?
I'm trying, bro.
Okay, so and I'm going about it a little bit slower than you are. Have some patience here. So we both agree that he's going to do what's best for him. Right now on July 10th, it makes sense. What's best for him is to not sign a contract and to try to hold out for more money.
Okay, agreed.
Okay, So now he's sitting, and by the way, that also aligns with what running backs are trying to do in general in the NFL.
Agreed.
Okay.
So you're saying that he's sitting there for Saquon's benefit.
Right now, their benefits align. Now, 7 days from now, could be a totally different story. But right now, they align. 7 days from now, I would agree with you that let's say there's a negative that comes in. I'm not exactly sure what the ins and outs of July 17th are, but let's say July 17th is a date where after that, it hurts him to not sign the contract that's on the table. And he might say, you know what, guys, look, I got to do what's best for me now. And so the $4.5 million is what I'm going to take.
Right.
And I'm going to go to Miami.
And that's fine.
And by the way, nobody's going to say that to him. But
that's fine. I still don't understand how that represents Saquon Barkley.
Nah, F that, man. 4.5 to 7. We're going to argue about 4.5 to 7. We're really going to argue that amount of money. We have a billionaire owner.
Hold on. So now, so Color, this is, let me cook with Color, guys. So here's how this hurts or helps Saquon. Saquon is sitting here saying, all right, I need to figure out what Dalvin's going to do. Because if I'm turning down a franchise tag of $10 million and
can you pause for a second? Because you're going down a whole road again that's straw manning me. Okay. You just said that Saquon is sitting there saying, I've got to think about what's going on with Dalvin. Again, Dalvin did not make his decision based on whether Saquon needed to do that or not. That's all I'm saying.
No, but
this idea that he's representing these other running backs is just is wrong. It's not true.
I don't know.
It's absolutely true. It is absolutely true.
I am saying what happens with Dalvin directly affects Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley.
So you're saying that Saquon and Josh's agent haven't already told them the same thing that Dalvin's agent has told him,
which is
sit there and try to wait for better money.
Okay, that's what's happening right
now. So how did Dalvin have anything to do with their decision making?
Because if Dalvin signs for $4.5 million, they are signing their
contract. So they don't see themselves as better than Dalvin? They're not going to sit there and go, that's Dalvin, not me, Saquon?
I'm telling you right now.
And honest with you, Saquon has a longer term future ahead of him.
Color, here's what I'll say.
Agree to disagree.
If Dalvin signs for $4.5 million, let's say that's
it brings down the value of running backs.
It brings down the value of running backs, and one of two things happen. I believe Josh Jacobs signs his $10 million contract the day after or hours after that deal is done. And I
think once the Dalvin Cook dam breaks, okay, there are 5 teams that will give Saquon whatever he wants.
What is that?
What does he want?
Nobody knows exactly, but I'm assuming.
I heard it was 16 million.
I guarantee you that once Dalvin Cook does whatever he's going to do, somebody will give Saquon Barkley $3 million more than Dalvin Cook.
Well, I've been saying that to them, Colors. Somebody will overpay, but these guys are hard-headed, bro.
It's not overpaying. Saquon has a longer-term future, has more gas in the tank, and is a beast compared to Dalvin Cook.
No, he's not. Please tell them that. They're saying that Dalvin Cook set the market.
But guess what? If it's $3 million, than Dalvin
I don't care
Cook,
what none of y'all say. Y'all can
So
say
hold on.
They're about the same. They cancel each other out.
Saquon Barkley is not better than Dalvin Cook.
Hold on, Color. Let me just say this.
No, Dalvin Cook is better overall.
Saquon Barkley beat Dalvin Cook in the playoffs.
Are you saying
one mic?
Guys, one mic. Are you saying, Color, that Dalvin and whatever happens with him, it does, like Saquon doesn't care what happens with Dalvin?
No, because none of the other teams that are willing to give the money to Saquon care. There are at least 5 of them that will instantly give him money more than Dalvin Cook. You guys forget, Saquon Barkley was the #1 overall draft pick by the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Okay, but so let's say it's a $3 million difference.
He went. What was that? What was his draft position? 2.
Hold on. So let's say it's a $3 million difference, the number that you just pointed out. and Dalvin signs for 4.5.
That's only $7 million.
That's only $7 million.
7.5.
So he's signing his $10 million contract.
Okay, so how did Dalvin, if it's more money, even if it's $1 more, how did Dalvin devalue Saquon?
Because
the position's value overall.
Exactly. Because
we already know it's that way, and there ain't nothing gonna change it.
That'll give the owners the leverage they need to keep the number down.
Running backs are trying to fix, and that's why they're.
And I'm telling you that Dalvin is not representative of those guys because he does not command as much money as they do. At least Saquon. At least Saquon. I won't say that about Josh Jacobs.
I've been waiting patiently. Can I ask a question? Can I please ask a question real quick?
I can answer that. He's right about it. You know why you're right about that? You're right about that because it's the timing of when he's a free agent. If he was a free agent earlier in the process, he would have been worth more. But right now, all the teams have pretty much spent their money. So yeah, right now.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Nobody is going to spend money. Not this year, not next year, the year after that.
Exactly. Why would anybody spend money in the passing league on a running back?
Do you want the Dolphins to set the market? Do you really want the Dolphins to set the market?
Hold on, it's not about the Dolphins taking the market. I agree with Lewis to a certain extent that they're not going to change, but that doesn't change the fact that they're not going to try to change it, the running backs. And that's what they're trying to do.
They can try all they want. It's not going to matter.
I don't believe that they will ultimately, but they're going to try. They're going to try to move it.
So again, we got 7 more days until Saquon Barkley signs for $10 million because he's signing that goddamn franchise tag. Josh Jacobs is signing that $10 million franchise tag in 7 days. So y'all can sit up here and talk and do all you want and who's this and what's this. The fact of the matter is, Dalvin Cook ain't getting close to 10 million, and those two running backs.
And to that point, it's my understanding. We've heard for the past couple seasons, and it is to my understanding that these players signing these tags, which are an average of the value of the whatever
to 11 mil.
Right. If that's the mean, then they're actually getting their value. $10 million. Dalvin's the one that's devalued.
Well, time out. I go back color to say that some of these running backs, for example, let's take Saquon.
Well, what I meant to real quick before you go, what I meant to say was that we've been told that signing the tag causes him to go up.
I believe that Saquon could sign a 4-year deal for $8.5 million per year. I believe that could happen. Because then it's a long-term contract for him. Is it below the money he wants per year? Of course it is.
Security.
But it's security over a long tenure.
But he also has more time on his career to prove these owners wrong, that they were wrong for devaluing all the running backs.
And so that plays into my standpoint, color, because what I am saying is that they're trying to put the value back into the position. And at the moment of July 10th at 11:36 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, everybody's values align correctly or aligned.
Well, the other thing I wanted to add about the tag, bro. The other thing I wanted to add about the tag. Hold on. The other thing I wanted to add about the tag was that by them signing the tag, this is why we've been told that it actually increases the market, because by them signing the tag, they're acknowledging that the mean cost of a decent running back is $10 million, which means because of cap inflation and natural inflation, they will have to now all be getting more than $10 million if you're anything above average.
And you and I both agree that Saquon is
that's only for 1 year though.
Saquon is better than Dalvin. I don't disagree with that. I agree with you 100%. I think his future better. Wrong. I think everything. But what I will say is, Color, to your point, that if Saquon signs an $8.5 million contract per year on a 4-year deal, and even if Josh Jacobs still signs a 10, and we know Tony Pollard signed the thing for 10, that it hurts everything for Dalvin to sign a $4.5 million deal. It hurts. It hurts him. It hurts everything. So right now
It does not.
It's a wait.
They're doing it.
Game. Who's going to
doing
fall
it
first? Who's going to move
Right.
first? Everybody's waiting
They're
to see
doing-
who does what first.
The only reason those guys are going to get $10 million though is because it's the franchise tag for 1 year. They're going to get it for 1 year. They won't be on that team. They're not going to be on that team next year.
Right, but what happens is a whole bunch of other running backs that are lesser grade next year and the season after will be saying, hey, you tagged a guy for $10 million 2 years ago. We know inflation is happening. We want 12 now.
And
I tried telling them that, Color. That's exactly what I tried telling them, Color.
That's facts. I agree with you. And that's what the NFL's trying to stop. The NFLPA wants to make that happen where the NFL's like, we don't need to pay.
Right. So Saquon and Josh signing their tags is what thwarts that. Not Dalvin signing for $4.5 million.
They both.
Bingo.
Like Dalvin could sign for $8 million. That's still below the tag. That still would have the same effect as $4.5 million, according to your logic.
Dalvin signing for $8 million would help everybody's cause. Because then
not if they think they're worth 10. Not if the mean value is 10.
And I say this to you one more time, and you guys laughed at me last time. If Tyreek gets suspended for a game or two, you don't think that value is going to go up?
Hold on. Saquon and Josh Jacobs, Color, don't believe that they're
I ain't gonna lie. This
would have signed their 1 year, $10 million deal.
This is ridiculous.
Wait. What did you say there, Steven?
I said that Saquon and Josh Jacobs both believe that they're worth more than $10 million, which is why they haven't signed their franchise tag. And they both want long-term deals, which is another reason they haven't signed their tag. They want long-term deals that are over $10 million per year.
Right. So if Dalvin signs, Dalvin signs for $1 less than $10 million, he devalues them. So at $4.5 million, $8 million, the same result.
And that's you know what, that's fair to say in the scheme of things. But you and I both know damn well that there's a big difference between $4.5 million per year and $9 million per year. Big difference.
Unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
What's going on? Welcome back, Steven.
How are you?
Yeah.
I cannot believe what's going on here.
I can see Jacob signing
What's today's date, Lewis? What's today's date is?
What part don't you believe, Lou? What are you upset about?
Y'all sitting here and arguing the dumbest shit.
Go ahead, Todd. Go ahead, Todd.
I don't see Saquon signing. He's already turned down $14 million a year.
We are turning on the auto cash out.
I saw you put that in the thing.
That's a dumb motherfucker.
I don't know if Saquon has turned down $14 million. I don't think.
Look it up. It was all over the place. It was all over the place.
Auto cash out at the close. The business
Hey, somebody's got background noise. Can we confirm if Saquon got offered a $14 million?
Yeah, we need a fact check on that.
Yeah, I need fact check on that.
I can't look it up, but look it up. It was all over the place. He turned down $14 million a year.
not processing properly.
I mean,
He dumb. He dumb for that.
I don't
Well,
know.
you got to read the room, boy.
Look, B. McD said he was making 12. Interesting. All right. Pete's take. Good morning, Pete.
Right.
How are
And
you?
one other thing, Steven. Leonard Fournette's last contract with the Bucks was 3 years, $21 million.
Yahoo Sports and USA Today reported according to that.
Steven, what's up, Steven? What's up,
buddy?
everybody?
Missed you,
I
man.
just
How
gotta
you
be
doing?
honest.
What's up, Pete?
Good. Glad you're back live. Glad you're up here. I'm kind of surprised. I thought you made me check my watch. It didn't say Wednesday for this to be happening like this. I mean, the takes over here are being wild. I can't believe it, Steven. Like, honestly, I'd rather before listen to Dalvin.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm the only one damn up here making goddamn sense.
I'd rather listen to Skylar Thompson news. Like I gotta be honest. I told you guys this is the issue. Steven, how long ago was it? Steven, how long ago? Hold on, Steven.
Hey, Lewis, run a space.
How long ago was it, right? On your own channel that I told you, Dalvin Cook is not coming here. How long ago have I told you?
Bro, Pete, they always get mad. Pete. They get mad, Pete. They get mad, bro.
Thing. No, of course they get mad because they spew out things out of their mouths, then they come out to be wrong.
Yeah, they want to insult people when shit don't work out their way. They want to run away.
Like, I don't understand why you guys don't understand. We're just the same team as last year. We're not getting anybody else. The running back room is Mostert. The running back room is Jeff Wilson. The running back room is Devon A-Chain. Get it through your thick heads. That's what it is. We're not picking up another running back. We have Miles Gaskins and Ahmed that are going to battle for that 4th spot. That's the reality.
Anybody want to go at Pete?
I got a question though.
That's what we got right now.
Check it out.
This is the only fan base crying for Dalvin Cook, and he has
nobody arguing with you now, right, Pete?
Hey, he has Cap. He has multiple offers from other teams, and this is the only.
I'm confused because
does he walk away? Does he walk away with the $5.1 million cap hit? That's dead money against the Vikings. That goes in Dalvin's pocket, right? That $5.1 million, which was his base salary and his signing bonus. It was a $2 million base salary. It was a $2 million base salary, and it was a $3.1 million signing bonus.
Are you saying that is Dalvin walking away with Minnesota money?
Yes, he walks away with that money.
I think $2 million. I think they reported $2 million will still be coming from Minnesota. So if you gave him 6, so like if you gave him 6, then technically he would still make 8 this year.
Exactly.
Stack says the Giants offered $12.5 mil a season at the bye week, then increased it to $13 mil with a chance to get to 14 with incentives shortly after the season. Saquon has rejected both deals. Well, that's just crazy.
He gonna
He's
realize
a dumbass for doing it.
Yeah, he gonna realize he messed up when he did that. That's stupid. Read the room, bro. You can tell nobody's getting paid right now. Why wouldn't you take when you got the highest offer? Take it.
Not as bad as Oladipo though, right?
Real quick, Lewis. Real quick, Lewis, because I'm confused. Cap, haven't you been up here all morning saying that we need to get Dalvin? Cap?
No, don't worry about that, Dave. Don't worry.
No, he said he
was
because it changed.
The bell cow running back.
No. This is
okay, but it's funny. He's changing what he's saying when Pete come up. Now he's saying, "Oh yeah, Dalvin was never coming or some shit like that." I'm confused.
Dave,
I still think Dalvin's coming here.
Hey,
Dalvin Cook is never coming here. This is not a Super Bowl.
Our main complaint was offensive line. We complained about the O-line for 15 years, and you guys want to get sidetracked.
You see, Dave. You
Why
brought up something
Our O-line
that
is
was
ready.
going to go. You brought up something, Dave, that was just going to start another argument of nonsense. Let me be very clear. If Stacks just executed, said $12.5 million, right? It goes against everything Stephen D was trying to tell us earlier about running backs trying to help other running backs. Because if Saquon Barkley turned down a multi-year deal at $12.5 million, he didn't give a shit about Josh Jacobs. He didn't give a shit about Dalvin Cook. He didn't give a shit about no other running backs. Because an offer of $12.5 million, he would have helped the running back position. Correct, Stephen? Ain't that what you were saying?
Well, are you talking about? Hold on,
he got you there.
Hold on. Are you talking about in Saquon?
Yeah, that would help him.
Lewis, are you talking about in
You
Saquon?
said Dalvin Cook. You said Dalvin Cook is trying to help the running backs, right? That's what they're trying to do.
Yes.
Well, if Saquon Barkley turned down a multi-year deal of $12.5 million, he don't give a damn about the other running backs. He only cares about himself.
That is true.
And that's what Keller is saying.
So hold on. Let me. I think that's a fair statement to a certain extent, Lewis. Let me say this. I also think that Saquon is thinking he's the greatest running back. He's the best running back in the NFL. Now, I don't know if he is. I don't think that he is. I don't think he's the number one. But if he's turning down $14 million per year, he thinks he's the best running back in the NFL.
That's not the argument, but why didn't
How much did Christian McCaffrey get from the rank? How much did Christian McCaffrey get from the Niners?
He's making like $16 million.
Right. That's why Saquon Barkley turned down the 14 because he sees himself on that level. Arguably, he's right. And secondly, if Christian signed for that kind of money, how's everybody getting devalued? That just happened last year.
Thank you, Color. Thank
That
you.
was a stupid. That was a move that the 49ers are going to regret.
Right.
Exactly.
But that means
Just
that
because
other
the
teams will
49ers
do
are
the same
stupid doesn't
thing
mean it's not
because
devaluing
nobody's
you.
accusing the Niners of being a stupid franchise.
Actually, I will, but for signing a running back like that,
I'm just saying,
for that much
if
money,
they're
that's
not
not
the
consistently
only
on the field.
ones.
Hey, one at a time. But Color, let me
He's not
respond
consistently
to that.
on the field
Color,
enough.
let me respond to that and say that they're not paying a quarterback right now. That's why they can afford to pay Christian McCaffrey $16 million.
That's
Well,
true.
they
They're
just
not
gave
being a quarterback.
they just gave Daniel Jones $45
Daniel
million.
Jones
So
just got the
maybe they
bag.
should have thought about that before they offered Saquon peanuts.
And for some reason, fair or unfair, New York Jets and the New York Giants always seem to overpay for their players. Always. They always do. And it's New York, which is always surprising to me. But they
overdrafted him too. They overdrafted him too. And this is why it was a mistake to overdraft them like they did.
You have Jones
So
as
you
your
don't think the Jets
quarterback,
are overpaid?
you better have
Just like being
Barkley in the backfield at $14 million. They better sign him.
Look, I think
New York ain't for everybody. That's why.
Hold on. I think Lewis's point is fair to the fact that Saquon doesn't care about anybody else, but Saquon's going to get money. And if he's got 14 mil that was offered to him, he believes he can get that minimum.
Right. So how is anybody driving the running back value down? If you want
This
your
is the
value
dumbest
up,
argument.
run like Saquon.
No, it's not because look.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not because
bro. If you want your value to be up, run like Saquon. That's what it tells me.
Well, and look, if Christian McCaffrey and now if you have two running backs that get paid over 16 mil, the goal is that should bring the basement up, right? That should bring the basement up.
Right. The basement's at 10 million. I should say the 10 because it's 1 year. You could say that.
Yeah, and by the way, the basement's not 10 mil because
but we act like Leonard Fournette is a basement running back, and he made $7 million over the last 3 years per year.
Can y'all correct me if I'm wrong? The cumulative total of the top three paid at the position is what the franchise tag is.
So you're saying we are sorely underpaying our running backs? Is that what you're saying?
No, well, hold on. But I just need somebody to clarify. Is the franchise tag number an accumulative total or not total? But like
I thought it was an average. I thought it was a mean average.
That's what I meant.
It's the average of the top three
of the top
players
three.
paid at their position.
So Color
Right,
now,
so it's a high end average. It's not even a
the
mean.
average of the top three is 10 mil. And that's probably because of Christian McCaffrey's 16 million.
Right. So Christian McCaffrey will be getting the savior award that everybody thinks Dalvin's going for.
You are 100% correct.
Preach, Color, preach.
No, but you got to go by the average of all running backs combined.
Or he could be getting
As
cut
far as the total market, you can't say the total market is three people. Stop it.
No, we're not saying that.
The market encompasses all.
By the highest paid crypto.
No,
it's by the highest paid.
The question was, how do they factor the franchise tag? That's how they do it. The average of the top three salaries.
Because if I'm correct, the average.
I'm talking about as far as the overall market for running backs, the running back position.
Well, crypto, you already know that's individually earned, right?
I think if you take the top three out, and I could be wrong on this, and please correct me if I'm due, but I would be willing to bet it's not more than 3 million. It's got to be around 3 million, taking the top three out. For the
I mean, look
right,
at the
it would be
quarterback.
dramatically lower.
You go from 40 million or from 50 million to 23 million, and really quickly, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, quarterback too.
Color, how much?
Do all our running backs equal
If you
10
take
million?
the top three out, Color, how much per year do you think the average running back makes taking the top three salaries out?
I'd estimate around 6 or 7, 5 to 7.
I think it's way lower than that.
But the running back in general is still devalued, no matter how you shape it.
And I don't think that's been an argument from anybody here. I think the disagreement or the debate that we've had so far this morning, by the way, great debate so far. I think the debate that we've had, gentlemen, is how do we view the running backs on who is going to be the domino effect? And are those people thinking about only themselves, or are they thinking about the cumulative total of the running backs in general throughout the NFLPA? And in my opinion, and Lewis and Color and I think disagree, is I think that these guys are taking into account right now on July 10th how it affects people. Saquon's in a unique position, but it's fair. Like Lewis's point is fair. But I do believe that Saquon's in a unique position because Saquon is probably a top 3 running back in the game. You know, and so
he's in the unique position of being the only one that actually can affect it.
And he's young, and that helps him too. So, you know, you're right. And so if he turned down 14 million, I would love for him to get paid more because
but the situation, you see, every player's situation is a little sketchy. That's the reality. Yeah, Saquon Barkley had an electrifying season last year, but let's not forget he's injury prone at one of the most used positions. So at the end of the day, that is hurting contract talks, and that's why they're going back and forth. It is what it is. Everything has to be said.
You know, Pete. Here's an interesting point that you just made. Running backs in general are devalued because, and I don't know if this is fair to say, they're a dime a dozen, right? If they're getting hurt,
especially one with one shoulder like Dalvin Cook. But go ahead.
And so you look at the Miami Dolphins right now. We are considered a running back by committee. Does anybody disagree with that? I think we're a running back by committee.
We're only a running back by committee because we don't have that running back, Steve.
Correct.
Okay.
And I would say probably 20
system that you run dictates.
I would say 20 to 25 teams in the NFL are running back by committee for the most.
That's why Dalvin Cook is not a need; he's a want.
Exactly right. So
I've been telling you all off season, Crypto.
I don't want to see a Dalvin Cook. I prefer to see Devon A-Chain, Stephen. This talk is getting sickening with Dalvin Cook.
No,
Devon A-Chain is younger. He's more electrifying. You give him the ball. Give him the ball.
Well, Pete, I think that's part of the reason why the Dolphins haven't paid Dalvin what he wants, because I think they're very high on A-Chain. Now, the issue is he's unproven, right? You don't know how his game's going to translate from the college to the pros. Nobody knows that. And I think another thing you also have to take.
I just grassroots you, Stephen D. Sorry to interrupt, but I just told somebody, physical person, about your channel, just so you know.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.
Hey, Stephen, real quick, what do you think the correlation is with performed players in the Miami Dolphins? Do you see it as a forced narrative?
You talking about Nick?
But let him finish his point first, and then he can answer that.
Yeah, I'll answer that in a second. Ask me again in a second. So the last thing I want to say is you look around the rest of the NFL right now. Like, for example, Leonard Fournette, I think, is a great example for what I'm trying to say here. Leonard Fournette, if I'm correct, I mean, what was his salary last year? $4 million? And
it was cheap. It was like $2 million last year, but the contract, his last contract was 3 years, $21 million.
Yeah, and if I'm correct, he's the only running back in the last 10 years to win a Super Bowl that got paid over $4 million.
Right. Well, so since they only paid him $2 million last year, but because they wheeled and dealed it, but effectively his contract got paid out. So he made $7 million a year for the last 3 years,
and that's fine. And the other thing I'll say to that, Color, and I know people are very, I'll be honest with you, I think it behooves the Dolphins more to go out and get Leonard Fournette for $2.5 million rather than to go get Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, we could get Dalvin Cook, Zeke, and Leonard Fournette. They're all available.
Also because of the need on our team. We actually need his skill set more than Dalvin.
Get them all, Pokemon.
And let me say, I would love Dalvin Cook, and I'll be happy if we sign him. But if we don't, I think we have a better option to fit our team money-wise and fit-wise from a play standpoint, and that's Leonard Fournette, because Leonard Fournette he knows he's going to come in here and get, 5 to 8 carries per game, and they'll be important ones, and they'll be big ones, and the hope is that he can get, 8 to 10 touchdowns. And if he comes in here with 5 to 8 carries per game, averaging getting 8 to 10 touchdowns this year at $2.5 million, that's what I need out of a running back, especially if Devon A-Chain ends up being what we all hope he will be, and that is a workhorse, somebody who can come in here and really make a his stamp on the NFL at the running back.
No, he could be. He doesn't need to be a workhorse because I don't see him like that. But I do see him like someone that can contribute and make explosive plays throughout his career.
Yeah,
if we're gonna have A-Chain for the next 4 years, we could. And next year's draft, we could potentially get a high, really good do-it-all running back, and he could be our backup for the next 3 to 4 years. A-Chain, like what I'm saying, Steven, is you got to realize Mostert, Wilson, and A-Chain. Bro, that's a good triplet. It really is. We're not going to be a team that's going to run the ball down people's throat. We're always going to be that pass-happy team. We have a pass-heavy team. So, therefore, we're just going to use them. So, let's just use all 3 of them and give, 10, 8, 6 type carries. That's 25 carries in a game. That's perfect.
I hear you.
I want to ask.
Who's going to get that 1 yard, though?
I think Leonard Fournette get that 1 yard, by the way. And by the way,
throw a deep bomb.
The other thing that we didn't see Blessman last year because of his injury was what Alec Ingold can do out of the backfield in short yardage situations. True. And so I think that'll play a factor into it as well. Color, let me ask you a question. You talked about the Dallas Cowboys and them wanting to go after Raheem Mostert, if I'm correct. That's the name that you came up with, that's who they wanted.
Yes, precisely because they want a guy that's a little aged that they don't have to tie themselves into deep on.
Is there a world
and won't challenge Pollard?
Is there a world where the Dolphins go out and sign Leonard Fournette, bring him into training camp? He obviously flourishes, and Devon A-Chain, is looked at in a very high manner throughout the preseason and training camp, and then maybe they package Raheem Mostert and Cedric Wilson to Dallas?
They could. I just don't know if Leonard Fournette, because Leonard Fournette,
we're talking
in my opinion, the reason he would command less money for us is because his skill set would be a little more specialized for us, right? And so, and it even was indicated last year, even though they still relied heavily on him with 70+ receptions, he still only started 9 games, played 15, but only started 9. Whereas his previous years, he started all the games he played in. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. They kind of seems like they limited his use last year. Could have been because they're already coming off a bowl. Who knows what? It could indicate that he's fresh too, but I don't see us using him in the capacity that would allow us to necessarily trade off Mostert. Whereas with Dalvin Cook, not being a bell cow, but being a little more reliable as a mainstay, would allow us to move off of Mostert. I'm not sure Fournette would.
Let me bring in Blessman. Blessman, you were about to make a point. Go ahead, man.
No, I wasn't. I had made my point earlier, though.
Okay, I wanted to make sure you got it out there. Mr. Negative. Yeah. What's up, Mr. Negative? How are you?
Good, Steven. How are you?
Pretty good. I want you to weigh in on what we've talked about over the last 10, 15 minutes. Welcome to the show. I missed you, bud. Good to hear from you.
Oh, thank you. I kind of get up to speed here. I mean, I know it's about Dalvin Cook, but what is the debate, I guess?
I mean, I think a majority of what we're trying to figure out is what is Dalvin Cook probably worth? Is Dalvin Cook waiting? Is he waiting because he's trying to help the running back as a whole, or is he looking out only for himself in the situation?
These guys can say they're looking out for the other guys, in the league, but at the end of the day, they're going to look out for themselves. And
I think that's fair. But would you agree that right now on July 10th that their values are aligned?
I think Dalvin wants too much. I mean, his best days are behind him. I'm not saying he's washed, but I think his best days are behind him. And you have to look at what the Miami Dolphins value is to Dal. Like, what's the value on our team? It's not. He's a part-time player on our team. He's not going to get the 20, 25 carries that other teams may give him. It's just not going to happen.
Now, Mr. Negative, let me say this. Pete came on a couple of weeks ago, and one of the interesting points, I won't say good or bad, but one of the interesting points is it would be ineffective for the Dolphins to bring in somebody like Dalvin Cook because we would not give him 25 carries per game. And that would hurt him more than it would help him because he is a bell cow running back. Do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I agree with Pete 100% on that because you got to look at it from the Dolphins standpoint. If he was a bell cow for us, right, and if that's how the Dolphins viewed him, they would have signed him already. They would have actually traded for him. But they decided, no, we're going to go the route of the draft. We're going to go get A-Chain. We're going to pair him with Mostert and Wilson, Ahmed, and Gaskin, and we're going to go with those 4 guys because that's what our system dictates.
For Ahmed, I think Ahmed's going to beat out Gaskin.
Now,
I agree with that.
I'm not thinking that Gaskin is a major piece, and I mean, if we were to get a Dalvin Cook, Gaskin and probably Ahmed are out of here, but I just don't see the value on the Dolphins for Dalvin like I would say on another team.
Let me say this. I my personal opinion, I don't 100% agree with that. I think Dalvin on this team does nothing but help this team, whether he carries the ball 10 times, 15 times, 25 times.
What price though, Steven?
That's where it is, right? I say that the Dolphins right now are Super Bowl contenders, right? And I think there's some pieces I would like to see added to make them even better. I'll personally say this from a scheme standpoint, I think Leonard Fournette is the signing that the Dolphins should make over Dalvin. And this particular
that guy is a slow. Why? Look,
because
Steven.
he equally helps our team as far as that upgrade that Stephen D's talking about.
They want him. We don't need him for power reasons.
But with what we plan to use one of these guys for, Fournette is the more cost-efficient player.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
3rd and 2.
Yeah, they want Fournette for short yardage.
Want to overpay for 1 player or try to get 3 players in free agents?
Well, so hold on. So I like that question, Cap. Are the Dolphins nickel and diming to get 3 players that add to the price of one, that equal to the price of 1 player? I think there's 2 things you have to take into account, Cap, with that question. Number 1, how is Mike McDaniel going to utilize the run this year? Because he clearly stated that that's going to be an increase of production from what he did last year. And it has
breathe, Lewis, breathe. Like, to be honest with you, Steve,
bro, this is ridiculous.
To be honest with you, Steve, hold on, let me finish my statement. And then the second thing you have to realize is the personnel that's already here. And somebody had said in the chat that they believe A-Chain is more of an insurance policy. I'll say this. I don't necessarily agree with that statement. I think A-Chain is somebody that the Dolphins are committed to making a big part of the offense. And Mostert is somebody who has injury prone. He's injury prone, right?
And Wilson.
And Jeff Wilson. And so I think A-Chain is somebody that they love. So they don't see the value in paying Dalvin $7, $8, $9 million per year. That's why if the offer on the table is $4.5 million, I'll be honest with you, I don't necessarily see them coming off that number for much of anything. Unless it's a $2 million difference and they make it incentive based. And
Steven, if we would have drafted A-Chain in the 7th round, I'll be like, oh, but we drafted this guy in the 3rd. He better come in and contribute, and I mean early on. That's just the reality. We cannot continue to miss on our 2nd and 3rd and 4th round draft picks. Shout out to Mr. Negative that come in and do not contribute and do not actually have a role on this team. It's nonsense at this point. It's and plenty more. We need guys that do things. And honestly, A-Chain right now. Look, we say, Dalvin Cook. What if he gives us only 10 carries, Steven? That's what you said, right? Hold on. You said, what if Dalvin? Well, didn't you also say on your show that Dalvin Cook, when he played the Dolphins, it took him that 1 carry until the 4th quarter to have a good game?
It did.
All right, what if he didn't get that carry? And he would have got those 10 carries. He would have had 10 yards. He averages 1 yard per pop.
You're 100% right. Now, I will say this, Pete.
If he didn't break that 70-yarder,
Minnesota's offense and Miami's
y'all can't
offense,
say if he didn't,
2 different offenses, right? And so
you're limiting his runs. That's like saying Derrick Henry only gets 10 carries. Derrick Henry's not the punishing back. He doesn't bruise you throughout the game like he's necessary needed.
All right, hold on real quick, Pete. Let me bring in Batman to this conversation because I know Batman disagrees with a lot of the people on the panel, and his viewpoint of Dalvin is a little bit more. The Dolphins really need to make that
Batman
happen.
just wants everybody.
Batman, can you give us your view of how you see the Dalvin Cook situation right now?
I'm not worried about the Dalvin Cook situation. I know these guys, instead of getting a top 6 running back in the league, they want to get a 3rd and 4th string linebacker. That's what they want. That's what they
view him.
That's what they want. That's what they want to talk about. 3rd and 4th string linebackers and defensive linemen to fill out the depth. That's what they want.
Yeah, because if your starter goes down, Batman, your season will be screwed. Why are you acting like depth is a bad thing right now?
How is
Not a
he
bad
going to be
thing.
screwed? We haven't had
You
a
could do both.
linebacker problem like for the last.
Bro, we haven't had a fully healthy team in how long? You know we're going into the season with injuries. So why wouldn't you shore up those positions?
Yeah, you need to build a 53-man roster, right, Dave? It's about the 53-man roster, not the 11-man roster.
Let Batman answer your questions. Let Batman answer.
How do you take that from what I just said when I was referring to injuries? I'm referring to injuries. So how do I believe in anybody has that anything to do with anything?
Dave, let me answer your question. Go ahead, Batman.
Van Ginkel's your depth piece.
Shit, bro.
He is your backup linebacker, right? If Long goes down, right? So you don't believe in all of a sudden you don't believe in Van Ginkel? Okay.
You think you have enough? You think you have enough depth on this team? Do you think you have enough depth on this team, Batman?
Batman, where in middle linebacker you saying you trust Van Ginkel?
Yeah.
Hey, I like Van Ginkel, so why not? Why am I gonna panic and we gotta go get another guy right now?
I don't trust
we don't got that.
So
role player.
I'm sorry.
that's what
I'm just under the impression last year the offense wasn't the issue, the defense was.
You don't like A-Chain, Batman?
Y'all keep trying to add on to this offense when the offense was already top 6. Like, bro, at some point you're being greedy.
You don't like A-Chain, Batman?
I love it, but if you're telling me I can get Dalvin Cook, the 6th best running back in the league.
Be careful, Dave. Don't let Big Nick hear you say that, Dave.
That's crazy to me.
The fact remains the Dolphins offered a contract, gave him a contract, and it wasn't signed. So the Dolphins have done their part.
All right, so hold on. Batman, according to you, and correct me if I'm wrong, Batman. I don't want to say this incorrectly on your behalf. According to you, the Dolphins' priority should be Dalvin Cook. And if the Dolphins do not make it, it does not matter because it would be a stupid move because he's there for the taking. You have to go out and get him, which is in part what most people have argued with the upgrade of the quarterback situation over the last several years. And you're not making it for the running back.
And that's why I give pushback. All those hypocrites that they wanted to upgrade the quarterback position. Now you want to upgrade the running back position, and now they're being hypocrites about it.
What are you talking about? What is he talking about?
Nobody is saying. Nobody.
Bro, all I know, Batman, is if you wanted to upgrade the offensive line all offseason. Now you have a chance to do it, and you're turning hypocritical now too.
They're not touching the offensive line.
I know
Hold on.
Is Connor Williams home, guys?
Guys, hold on. I'm trying to do this one at a time. Go ahead, Luke.
Nobody's saying we don't want Dalvin Cook, but no one's trying to pay. Batman makes it seem like we can just open up the checkbook and give Dalvin Cook what he wants, and that's not how this thing is. Dalvin Cook, if he wants to be a Miami Dolphin, he has to understand there's a price for him because Dalvin Cook in Minnesota is not the Dalvin Cook that we're going to see in Miami. So that number has to come down. So when Batman says, oh, everybody wanted to upgrade the quarterback position and they were willing to make an upgrade, we're willing to get Dalvin Cook. But we're not going to break the bank to get Dalvin Cook like a lot of people are willing to do. And
simple.
Get out of your feelings.
I don't want to break the bank, and that's why I say I'm willing to wait. I'm not hitting the panic button. Look, at the end of the day,
and hold on.
Check this out, because I said this on Saturday, and this is the problem. That there's people in the fan base that are hitting the panic button. At the end of the day, we offered a contract. Ain't nobody in this planet have come out on concrete, on paper, that's a legitimate source, and we know the exact amount that Miami has offered. We know we could speculate.
It doesn't matter what the number is.
Okay, all right, hold on, guys. Hold on, real quick. Hold on, wait 1 second. So Omar Kelly tweeted this morning. He said, digging into the Dolphins' finances. Oh, hold on. He said, digging into the Dolphins' finances a little bit more. I've got to shock you. Do you realize Stephen Ross wrote $74 million in roster bonus checks and signing bonuses to 6 players to make the Jalen Ramsey deal happen and create cap space for 2023 free agency? So I bring that point up to Lewis's point of saying you just want the Dolphins to open up the checkbook. The reality of the situation is they have been opening up the checkbook and making it happen.
Yeah, that sounds like desperation.
Come on, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Lewis, the only thing I disagree with you, Lewis, the only thing I disagree with your take on the Dalvin Cook is I believe we might have been interested before the draft. Once we got A-Chain, everything got scratched off. Like, it's like, forget about Cook. That's it. And that's just where I sit.
Well, hold on. Just let me respond to Pete real quick, and then everybody else can go. But just let me respond to that, right? If that was the case, Pete, Miami would have took that offer down. The fact remains, and we've been up here for 2 hours now, and the conversation has went all over the place. The fact of the matter is, whether you like to hear it or not, there's one offer on the table, and that's from the Miami Dolphins. So
no, there's multiple offers on the tables.
No, stop.
No, that's not.
No.
Stop. So, where's the other offer?
According to his agent, he said it out of his. There's multiple offers.
Well, probably not as high as the Miami Dolphins then.
No.
Cameron also said there's multiple offers. Teams like Patriots, the Jets.
Bro, if you play the clip, the agent says there's offers. There's not interest. There's offers.
And there's no offers.
And I'll say,
wait. Remember, he probably has offers now. One running back goes down in training camp, Lewis. Now they need him even more.
I'll say this for Lewis's point. Okay. I'm saying I believe Hiller.
I think there's one offer.
I just want to throw this out there. I personally believe Hiller, but I will say it behooves him that even if it's not true to say that, because it helps his client try to provide leverage.
That's not the argument. Again,
you know how bad that looks if we're the only team actually after Cook? That's horrible.
They're only offer.
I don't believe we are, Lewis, but it sounds horrible if we're the only team.
Pete, you're missing the point.
Why is it horrible? Pete, why would it be horrible?
You're missing the point. The Jets are interested in Dalvin Cook.
We all agree. Denver, I think we all agree.
So is Dallas. They're the only offer on the table. The only contract that has been offered is from the Miami Dolphins. I don't care what y'all want to say. There is only one offer at the current moment.
He would have signed it.
What do you mean?
I mean,
I say if it was out there, he would have signed it. You facts.
If there was multiple offers, right?
Facts.
And the reason that Miami forget about what the number is, like to Batman. Oh, we don't know what it don't matter what the offer is. The fact of the matter is, the reason Miami has not moved off their original offer, whatever the number is, right, is because Dalvin Cook and his representation cannot come back to the Dolphins and say, I have another offer. Here it is.
Boom.
You see what I'm saying? And until that moment happens, right, Miami is staying packed.
Exactly.
That's it.
Do
you
not
guys don't think? So now this is Dalvin Cook.
It is simple, bro. It's not this hard that y'all making it sound like. It's simple.
So can this be a possibility? The reason why Dalvin Cook hasn't signed and became a Dolphin, he's probably like, look, you know what? I know how to get more money out of the Dolphins.
It's the money.
When training camp comes around, Wilson or Mostert gets hurt. Mostert or Wilson get hurt. Next thing you know, in training camp, they have to pay me more.
But he would be taking a chance on that. He would be taking a chance on that, Pete.
Yeah, because the money might be gone. The money might be gone by then.
I mean, you don't know if somebody's going to get hurt that fast either, so you can't really depend on that.
The money
waiting on training camp.
Batman is saying, oh, it's because of the money. Why does Miami have to bid against themselves?
I am not saying they have to.
Hold on.
I'm not saying they have to, though.
I hear you. I just want to throw this out there. Lewis, I hear your point of bidding against themselves. And right now, from what we know as fans and what's been presented through us through the media, has been presented through us through the media is, hey, look, right now the Dolphins clearly have an offer on the table. We think there might be a still legit offer from Minnesota from what we think. We don't know. There's enough evidence to support that there is. And we have Zach Hiller's agent saying that there's multiple offers. But it behooves Zach Hiller to say something like that because it's in the best interest of his client.
Well, Steven, so you're 100% right.
Let's say the Dolphins have a $4.5 billion offer on the table. There's no point in bidding against themselves right now. And I'll say at July 10th, I don't think the Dolphins should move off their offer.
Exactly.
Nailed it on the head.
You're not going to help the Dolphins.
This is why. Look, I'm gonna kill Lewis's narrative right now because he just brought up a good point. You're saying. Watch this. The one offer narrative. The one offer narrative.
He has multiple offers. Zach Hiller is saying he has multiple offers.
I'm gonna tell you.
You know, the Dolphins are telling him, bring them to me. And that right there,
check this out.
And when
Steven.
when he cannot, he has all these people on this panel right here. He has all y'all food. But what he does not have is the Miami Dolphin fool. So y'all can sit here and say, "Oh, you're gonna kill my narrative." There is no way.
Your one offer narrative. Check this out. Steven just pointed it out. Now, at least there's a minimum of 2. You got to agree with that, Lewis. There's at least a minimum of 2 that we know.
There's no other offer besides Miami.
But wait,
I do not believe there's no other offer.
He don't believe the Minnesota offer.
We don't know.
There's no other offer besides Miami's offer.
There's a minimum. There has to be one mic. Steven, there has to be a minimum of 2 because you just said it.
We don't know.
All right, hold on. That is
Steven. Let me just say why. So I'm trying to respond to Lewis. Listen, there has to be a minimum of 2 right now, and this is easy. The Vikings, they took them a long time trying to restructure their new deal with Dalvin Cook. They were trying to fix that. That's an offer. That's an offer that Dalvin Cook knows he has. He got cut. He still has that same offer at home with Minnesota.
He's not wrong. Minnesota offered
$7 million.
They were trying to restructure his deal.
There's no offer. That was before they cut him.
I'm 100% right.
Before they cut him. That was before
he can still go back home.
But it's still 2 offers. He's technically right. He's technically right.
All right. So
there is no.
It is right.
After taxes.
Hold on. One at a time. Guys, listen.
After taxes, the same.
Hey. Yo, everybody take a breath. You're going to get a chance, bro.
Right.
Take a breath.
Here's the thing. Lewis is all right. What Pete is saying about the Vikings, we know that the Vikings allegedly offered him $7 million before he was released. He gets released. Boomer Esiason comes out today, which Lewis does not believe the report, and most fans do. There's a lot of, I won't say most, but there's a good.
Why does Lewis not believe it? Why does Lewis not believe it?
He doesn't believe it for 2 reasons.
The man said
Lewis, I got it. He doesn't believe it because it's Boomer Esiason, and he said that it was Drew Rosenhaus. He said it was Drew Rosenhaus. Now, I have said clearly the wrong things on this channel, the wrong, stated, something factual, but I got something of it wrong.
Hang on, Steven. Hang on. Let me get this straight. So you're saying
there's
some
no
guy
other offers.
hey, hang on, man.
Wait a minute.
You're telling me that the Vikings made an offer of $7 million reported by somebody in the Vikings, I guess, media team, right? Whatever.
Well, that was known before he was released. Yes,
but it's according to Drew Rosenhaus, which is who? Because he ain't nobody for Dalvin Cook.
So hold on. So Boomer Esiason today on WFAN said that he got an offer from the Vikings. Drew Rosenhaus said he has, but Drew Rosenhaus isn't his representation. Zach Miller. And so that's why Lewis doesn't believe Boomer's statement, because it's not even his agent who's saying.
I don't even believe it anyway. It don't have
what was Boomer's statement? I'm sorry.
Hey, regardless, he got released. That means he had an offer when he got released. So technically it is 2 offers because he turned one down with the Minnesota Vikings.
The only offer that is out there.
You think Minnesota's offer at $7 million still stands today? That's what you think?
Now you want to add a number?
He would have taken it by now. Minnesota was giving him $7 million.
Lewis,
now Lewis wants to put a number.
I don't know if it's 7, but he obviously had an offer. That's and he didn't take it.
Nobody in the mainstream media has came out and said, so no Adam Schefter, no Tom Pelissero, no Ian Rappaport, nobody.
Well, they didn't even say Miami offered one either.
Hold on. They haven't said that about Miami either.
Miami offered them. They haven't said that about Miami. It was our own guy.
On the table.
It's been fan-driven with Dalvin Cook.
on the table. Dalvin Cook has a $7 million contract.
Who said that?
The Dolphins are the only team that offered him a contract.
You didn't see ESPN yesterday?
The Dolphins are the only team that offered Dalvin Cook.
The Dolphins
are the only team that offered him a contract. Every team has an offer for Dalvin Cook. You guys are right. Everybody.
No other team has an offer for Dalvin Cook besides the Dolphins. The Dolphins are the only team out there
that is the most asinine thinking.
If that was the case, then he would have taken the other offers by now over the Dolphins.
Alex, that is not the case, bro. We're not the only team, dude. That's just not a good narrative.
The Dolphins are the only team that has kicked the tires and has offered him a contract. There's no other team out there, because if there was another team if there was another team out there that offered more than the Dolphins, he would have been on that team by now.
Right.
There's no question about it.
That's not true.
Guys, can I have it for a second?
Come on, man.
This is what I think what happened. I think Miami offered him the equivalent of what it would be of the $7 million that Minnesota has on the table, what would be after taxes. And I think that's what Miami offered him. So basically, they probably matched in the Minnesota's offer with his.
Miami
with their
was
offer.
after every
So-
running back, my guy.
So
we were after DeAndre Swift
absolutely
before the draft.
ridiculous.
Lewis, the Irving with his $2 donation said Lewis is spitting right now.
You
100.
damn right, because it's just common sense, Steven. I mean, what are y'all
No,
talking
he's
about?
contradicting himself.
But common sense ain't common, Lou.
I've been on Lewis. I've been with
y'all
Lewis
make
since
us
day
look
one
like
on that
freaking
Dalvin
idiots out
Cook
here.
thing.
Everybody up
The
here
Jets-
makes us look like freaking idiots when y'all just spew.
Not
the
everybody.
dumb shit that comes out
Yeah,
your mouth.
he's spitting bad gum. That's
Alright,
what he's
so-
spitting.
Lewis is spitting
Lewis,
facts.
hold on. Let me
No,
say
I
something on
say, in
Lewis's
my
narrative.
opinion, I think the people
Because
that look
it's
like
very
idiots are the ones saying that Dalvin
Bro,
Cook
how
was in
y'all
the
telling the
sign.
host of the
Hold
show
on.
to hold on?
Lewis
Guys,
is contradicting
hold
himself.
up.
He's contradicting himself.
All right. Here's what I'll say. I think that part of the issue with some of our debate, or any debate for that matter on any channel, is semantics, the wording that is used. I think it's highly likely that Minnesota has an open line of communication with Dalvin, basically saying, hey, look,
It's
the contract
obvious.
we offered you is still on the table. Now, do we know that for a fact? No, nobody's really said anything until Boomer said that today. I know for a fact, hosting a radio show or a podcast or something on a weekly, daily basis, that I have said something that was true, but got some of the intricacies of that fact wrong, or said the wrong name or said whatever. So I'm not saying that Boomer's full of crap, because I've done the same thing. Now, Boomer doesn't have the greatest track record of saying accurate stuff when it comes to things outside of the New York Jets. And hell, for that matter, even with the New York Jets, for that matter, because the Jets suck. But I'll say that when it comes to the debate, when we use words like, hey, I know for a fact that this happened, or it's been confirmed, I think it's how you interpret the wording. Because Adam Schefter got on NFL Network and said he's had multiple offers on the table. But Lewis or Color might say, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, I apologize if I do. They're saying, well, that doesn't mean that there's a paper offer.
So Boomer Esiason is right, but Adam Schefter's wrong.
No, I'm not saying that.
That's what that man just said. That's
Oh.
what that man
You
just
said Schefter's reported there was multiple offers. That's what you just said, Steve, right?
Schefter has stated on NFL Network that there are multiple
I ain't
offers.
never seen it.
See,
I heard there was
that's
interest.
my point. That's my point.
I heard there was interest. From
Schefter
other
has stated that there are multiple offers on the table.
All right, guys, can I get to the meat of the conversation?
We're not gonna believe him. We're not gonna believe him.
Guys, I'd like to get into the real conversation now.
Here's the thing.
Can we get into some real conversation for once right now?
Hold on,
Tua
Pete.
is our quarterback.
We're not talking about Skylar Thompson
Here's the thing with this whole Dalvin Cook
No, I'm being
situation.
serious.
Okay,
We have our
you
quarterback
know what's crazy is the fact
You
is
got
that
Jeff
I feel.
Darlington.
Hold on, Cap. I just want to say this real quick, and then I'll let y'all go. I apologize, but the thing about it is that this whole Dalvin Cook situation is freaking ridiculous. Because first of all, there's other needs on this team besides running back. Running back is not a freaking need.
That's not your problem.
On this whole team. The linebackers is a need. That
The Dolphins feel like the running back is a problem. That's why they give him a contract.
The running back is not the issue.
That's why they give
Steven,
Dalvin a contract. So it's
And
obviously
Steven, this is what this is Alex, good point, because this is where I was trying to get to when I said let's get to the meat of the conversation. Look, guys, let's go back and not act like we have amnesia here. We've been on these panels for a long time. Remember the conversation first started, we're trading Cedric Wilson for Dalvin Cook. What are we going to do with Cedric Wilson? Is he going to be a part of a trade talks now, sooner or later? And what position can we get for him to help this team right
we'll be
now?
lucky to get a 7th round pick. So let's not even talk about that, bro.
No, I just don't understand how I can be considered an idiot when I've been saying we should worry on free agency and not worry about one player and try to get 3 guys. But now all of a sudden, everybody's like, why y'all pushing for the Dalvin Cook narrative? You know, there's not a lot of people that are pushing for that narrative. I hope you guys know that.
Hang on.
No.
Like they said earlier, you're pushing for Dalvin and now you're not. I'm confused, Cap. I'm confused.
Bro, I never pushed for him at all.
I thought it was
I
just
never
me.
pushed for him at all.
I swear to God.
Bro, you put me on wax and you tell me I'm not the one that's been telling you guys why are you going to overpay if we haven't even taken care of Connor? We haven't taken care of who else? How many linemen we haven't taken care of? And how many defensive tackles have we not taken care of?
Besides me,
bro, now you want to come at me like that? Hell no! Don't try to pull that game on me, bro.
In this fan base,
I've been telling you from jump, bro. Why are we pushing the Dalvin Cook narrative?
We've been harping on a.
I even told you, I'm like, bro,
you wanted your running back.
2 hours and 54 minutes later.
Bro, we were pushing for Kareem Hunt. Then all of a sudden, Kareem Hunt got thrown out the window.
Yes. Haven't you and myself been preaching for a running back?
I don't understand why you guys are pushing for Dalvin Cook. That's what I don't understand.
Did anybody sign
having you and me been pushing for a 3-down back for the last 4 years? Have you been?
Hell yeah, but it doesn't have to be a running back who doesn't want to come home and wants to take us to the bank, bro. We need other people to come home.
But he wants to get paid. That's his prerogative.
I get that, bro. You have a contract from home. Why? Okay, but you have a contract from home. You cannot say the Dolphins are not doing their part.
Okay, but you won't be mad if he signs that contract.
So glad,
bro. I'll be mad in week 8 when we have injuries and we don't have replacements to take care of our players in week 8.
And that'll be a good thing.
All right, let me.
You guys always say in week 8 when we get injuries, we can't get nobody. Now we have a chance to have capital for week 8 in case we have that problem going into the playoffs. But you guys want to force feed a narrative.
I'm not afraid to say it. Dalvin Cook is getting older and he's regressing on one shoulder. I don't want him on my team. How about that?
Bro, I don't mind having him on our team. Don't get me wrong. But you guys need to know it. Look, I used to tell you guys. Look, hey, Batman, if you want to come at me and say.
All right. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. You guys are too much. Always sitting here.
Hey, so now I want to care about the salary cap, and now I got what? I'm a hypocrite for that now?
Nobody's saying that, Cap.
No, people were trying to get clarification because you made arguments for both sides.
Nah, ain't no clarification, bro. Don't try to make me to be somebody I'm not. I ain't the one, bro.
Anyways,
we're asking you for clarification.
And I just gave it to you. How about that?
Hold on.
All right. So why you acting like it's an issue?
All right. Go ahead, Blessed Man.
I got a.
Who said they wanted to
I did.
Mr. Negative, go ahead, Mr.
Steven,
Negative.
What is the okay? We can all agree that Dalvin Cook is a 3-down back, but we're not going to use him as a 3-down back in Miami. So what is the point of signing?
Exactly.
Well, to be fair, that's exactly what Pete Point has been for the last 2.5
years. He's not going to be a 3-down back in Miami. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of
depth.
And you know what's crazy, Mr. Negative? Earlier, Dade was like, "Oh, how about 3rd and 1, short yardage?" And you know what? I stand on what I say. It's just my opinion. I feel like we were figured out last year, but this upcoming season, that's when we're going to get our big plays from Tua and this offense. You think we're gonna run it on 3rd and 1? Heck no.
Complain about Christian Wilkins. You haven't even signed Christian Wilkins.
And he's gonna let Tua's arm rainbow that throw downfield, and that's the big deep bombs and touchdowns.
Well, then that means he didn't learn anything from last year's Pete.
Keep passing. Keep passing.
Pete, they want to complain about Christian Wilkins. We still haven't signed Christian Wilkins.
It comes down to 3rd and 1, Pete. Remember you said that.
I'm good. I'm good with that. I'm telling you that's just
Philly was so good last year because 3rd and 1 was a beat. They had that quarterback.
Mobile quarterback,
that's why
dude.
Philly was so good.
What's your name? I can't see the name right now.
That's why we need a back that can get that 1 yard for us.
Say bless, man.
Quarterback ain't built for it.
Just go.
All right, let me ask you all. I just want a yes or no real quick, and then I'm going to make a bigger point. Are we in concurrent that the Dolphins are probably going to sign one more running back before the season starts?
Yes.
Unless one of our guys get hurt. I think we're really good.
I think they're signing in week 8.
An injury, sure, but if there's no injury.
Yeah, if we get hurt, then I can see us make a move. Remember, teams are going to have to cut to 53. Somebody's going to be a surprise cut as well on other teams.
Hold on. Lewis Color Dade, yes or no? Do the Dolphins sign one more running back before the start of the season?
1 yard.
I don't know.
No. In my opinion, if it's not Dalvin, then no.
I think that they are. And I think that it should be Leonard Fournette. And I'm telling you, if the Dolphins went out and got him for a $2 million,
Kareem Hunt.
I mean, all day. All day.
For 1 yard per game.
That's what I'm saying. All these guys have not been signed yet. You got Zeke out there still. You got
Jordan Howard.
Let me ask
y'all don't want no Ezekiel Elliott. Stop that.
That's fine, but I'm saying we have options until week 8 if something goes wrong.
Would you rather have Leonard Fournette or Myles Gaskin?
You're not paying him the same.
I'm gonna say Miles Gaskins at his price.
Why was there?
I'm gonna say Miles Gaskins at his price.
Hell no.
Oh, you cap. That's cap.
It's a different discussion.
What are you paying?
You're trying to pay this.
Miles is $1 million, I think, with incentives, right?
Almost 2.
And nothing's guaranteed with him. Leonard Fournette's going to be on your roster all season, and he's not going to be an every down workhorse. And I don't mind giving him $2 million. I do not mind giving him $2 million.
Miles Gaskins isn't going to take away touches from our young phenom Devon A-Chain. Leonard Fournette will.
But Miles Gaskins is not going to make the team.
This is my problem with
not
you.
Really, Pete.
Nobody's giving a rookie, a rookie running back that wasn't even a high pick, that many touches in this offense. Not going to happen.
All right.
That's your argument to me about Dalvin. So we are not going to know what A-Chain.
But you cannot argue with me when it comes to Dalvin and A-Chain. There's a huge gap there. That's just the reality.
He's not a phenom. I don't think it's fair to say that he's a phenom or the I think the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins.
He has high upside
on him. He does have high upside.
Dolphins are high on him. I'm high on him. He has high upside. We drafted him in the 3rd round.
We forget, man. This is now a journey. Like an 18-week season is now a journey. So you need bodies, bro. So it's like it's about
check this out. Okay, and I agree, but check this out. This is what they Pete, late in the season, we're gonna have to run the ball. Well, if we got these speed demons in rotation, late in the season, the defenses are gonna be bruised up and beat up. A-Chain is gonna be fresh legs around week 12, 13, 14, zooming past everybody. We just gotta
think that. I think there's a chance it can happen, but there's no guarantee. Leonard Fournette is the best thing to an insurance policy that you can get.
We need speed. We don't need power backs. That's what I'm trying to get to.
No, we need a power back.
Hold on.
A power back is always accepted, right? You always got to worry about 3rd and 4th.
Hold on. I like what Jay Bands just said.
We got Alec Ingold.
He said Dalvin. Hold on. Jay Band says Dalvin is a luxury, not a need, but I would love to add him. Dalvin is a luxury. Leonard Fournette is an insurance policy. And the reality is last year we broke camp with 5 running backs that didn't include Alex Ingold. So we had 5 running backs that we broke camp with last year. You don't think the Dolphins are going to do the same thing this year?
All I know, and that's well said by Jay, all I know is I don't want to hear nothing about the offensive line mid-season. I don't want to hear it.
Look, I'll say that I would love the Dolphins to go out and still get DJ Fluker or Dalton Risner, but I just don't see that happening because they haven't done it yet. They just haven't.
We'll see how camp goes. Injuries, we'll see.
And do we trust? But can we trust our coaching staff to develop some of these guys?
Well, and that's a fair statement too, right? 9 offensive line coaches in 10 years. The reality is we're going to see what Butch Berry does on the O-line. And Butch Berry has red flags coming from Denver, but McDaniel, who gave us a top 10 offense for the first time since the early 90s, loves him and says that he's going to be able to use Frank Smith more as an offensive coordinator and helping him out with game planning rather than Frank Smith being in the offensive line room.
Steven, I want to say one thing.
Real quick, Urban, question. I'm just saying, we're all debating on this topic. It's a very heavy topic, but are we like all in agreement that he's still going to probably sign with Miami regardless?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know at this
I don't know.
Go ahead, Mr. Negative. What were you saying?
Well, I don't know. Level's gone down.
Hold on. Mr. Negative, then Spider-Man.
I was more making light of the situation. Butch Berry, didn't the players in Denver hate that man?
That's what I'm saying. He's got red flags coming from there. But I'm not going to question Mike McDaniel, who gave us a top 10 offense for the first time.
Why would you question Mike McDaniel? Look at his first offensive coach hire. Failed. Goodbye.
What do you mean?
Man, that was a bad signing.
Apple bottom.
So he wasn't a
apple bum.
Why do you trust him?
Oh man, somebody's mic is really bad. Somebody's mic is really bad.
So you don't trust McDaniel, Mr. Negative?
What do I have to go on to trust Mike McDaniel?
He gave us we were number 6 offense in the NFL for the first time since the early 90s.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Fair enough. Chan Gailey also gave us the most points scored since 19.
We were one game away from having the worst losing streak in the NFL.
We ran him out of town. Mike McDaniel couldn't get plays in on time last year.
He made mistakes. I'm not saying that he didn't.
I'm supposed to trust. He couldn't win challenges. Am I supposed to trust him?
You can't trust this regime. I'm with you, Mr. Negative.
Everybody loses challenges, bro. I hate y'all sometimes.
Here we go. Here we go with the nonsense.
Hold up, Mr. Negative, me and you right now.
Okay.
Here's my problem with that. We all wanted Mike McDaniel to come out and be this perfect head coach. There's
Not
a
me.
learning there. Hold on. There's a learning curve, Mr. Negative. He was a first-time head coach.
Steven,
So,
he
yes,
was
he
anointed
made
a
mistakes.
genius. He was anointed a genius coming in.
He gave us a top 6 offense. What are you talking about?
Steven, he also couldn't get plays in on time in a playoff game.
So he wasn't perfect.
I know he wasn't perfect. I'm not asking him to be perfect, but I'm asking
you are.
him. I don't.
Can I
Steven,
provide some
hold on.
context?
I'm not. Hold on,
Can I
Steven.
provide some context? I haven't spoken all day.
Oh, Irvin, that's your mic. That's your mic, Irvin. Oh my God.
Irving, throw that thing away, bro.
His first offensive line.
Can y'all still hear me though?
No, it's bad.
I know I got a bad
Sounds
mic.
bad, dude.
Steven,
It
let me
sounds
say
horrible.
this.
Go
right?
get a new mic, Irvin.
Steven, let me say this. The same fan base ripped on Brian Flores because he couldn't hire assistants. Now we're praising Mike McDaniel, but the assistant he hired failed. The offensive apple bomb, he failed. Now we're going to give him a pass.
And I like what that Dolphins.
Okay, how many of his assistants failed?
Hold on.
Question: how many of his assistants failed?
He said geniuses learn from their mistakes and acknowledge imperfection.
My God, bro, like dog.
But in reality, if he's such a genius, he should have put more blame.
I love what 90% you say, but I totally disagree with you on this. Like, without a doubt, McDaniel. I think it's a fair statement to say he wasn't perfect, right? And everybody agrees with me. And we know where his shortcomings were. And in the end of the year press conference, he even said, hey, look, I need to do a better job with running. I need to do a better job with management. I need to do a better job with challenges. He stated all this. Now, if he comes in year 2 and we are still facing some of those same mistakes, then yes, I will be more than happy to sit on this show and blame McDaniel.
And now, Steven, I also want to.
But I'm not doing that yet.
I also want
Get ready to start. But yeah, you could start because I'm already blaming McDaniel. I'm with Mr. Negative. Go ahead, sir.
I also want to point out that the Miami Dolphins, coached by Mike McDaniel, the supposed genius, 1-6 down the stretch in December and January.
Let them know, please. Let them know. They got selective amnesia, Mr. Negative.
Good coaching gets it done in crunch time, in clutch time, and he failed.
And Mr. Negative, what really, Mr. Negative, what I want to add that.
That's
no,
what
I
he's
really.
supposed to be.
This is why.
From his early season mistakes,
Steven, this is why I have high concern, guys, and I'm gonna try to make it quick. Hold on. This is why
Here's the problem. Negative. Here's the problem. Your statement. Here's what fans are gonna do this year. We're gonna have the 8th best offense in the NFL. And fans are going to say, well, we regressed. We went from 6 to 8. Oh, God, how could we? McDaniel's so horrible. I guarantee you on everything, the Dolphins will still have a top 10 offense, be 7 through 10, and the Dolphins fans will still find a way to bitch and complain about McDaniel and how bad he is. Are you kidding me?
No. Swear jar. You don't get away with that.
1 year, bro.
No, because you guys aren't listening to me. This is the reality. Mike McDaniel came in and all he had to do was call plays. He didn't worry about the defense. He only had to deal with him and Frank Smith to fix the gold mine Tua. And he actually failed to address that because in something that he was doing bad early on, he continued those bad things, carried it into the playoffs. He never got better at calling plays. He never got better at calling plays.
That's false.
He showed the same mistakes throughout the year, and he only had one thing to do: call plays. He had nothing to do with the defense. Most coaches deal with it all. Yeah, go ahead.
Bro, he had more responsibility than that, Pete. He's a head coach, bro.
Just disappointed.
Yeah, he had more responsibility in that, but he wasn't allowed to even pick his own defensive coordinator. Yeah,
This is ridiculous.
The
Why are
first
we even
seed,
talking about
bro.
the
I ain't gonna lie, Pete. You got it, bro. I like I said, I ain't arguing with Pete, bro.
no, I'm just laying out the Dolphin facts. That's what it is.
Lewis,
I'm going by what happened last year.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Hey,
Go ahead.
Mr. Negative doesn't have faith in him, so he's a bad coach.
Why should I have faith? What has he shown me? You see this top 6 offense. I don't care about stats. I don't care about that, Steve.
I'm not mad.
But then if you because Steven, hold on, because that's bullshit. Hold on, Steven, because that's bull. Because Mr. Negative wouldn't say that if they were ranked the last offense in the league. You would not say that. So don't sit there and tell me that you don't care about that.
MVP this, MVP that. How'd it work out for us, guys?
Dave, we were talking
Cap,
about
bro. Like y'all be capping, bro.
We were talking about his. I brought up.
How am I capping? Top 5 this, top 5 that, MVP this, MVP that. How did it work out for us?
0-4 in December with Tua.
I brought up Butch Barrett. I'm supposed to think that that's a great hire based on what? Because Applebaum failed. I can only
based
go
on the fact. I agree. I agree with that,
on-
Mr. Negative. I agree with Mr. Negative right there. But when I hear Mr. Negative and Pete talk about our team, right, and they don't have no faith, that's every right. I agree with what they say, right. But in the same token, I'm not going to say. Hold on, but I'm not going to say this about Mr. Negative. But Pete will also come out and tell us, though, that he's a believer in the Jets. And Coach Saleh and the Jets haven't won a fucking thing neither. But you're high on them.
Yeah, Bills.
What?
Bills
all because they got Aaron Rodgers? Yeah.
Hey, you know who else thinks that? Dalvin Cook.
Oh, and Dalvin Cook.
You're part of Bills Mafia, Pete. We know that. You're part of Bills Mafia.
No. You guys are part of Bills Mafia. You guys are part of Bills Mafia. Remember, you guys want Bobby Wagner. You guys talk more highly of all outsiders you guys wanted than the actual Dolphins. You guys are the haters.
Mr. Negative, I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed in you.
Steven,
Okay?
I agree. You're mad. If
I agree, Steven.
Disappointed. I'm disappointed in a lot of people in this fan base.
Listen, the take I wanted to make real quick. You guys got to.
It's okay.
You guys got to go.
Hold on. I expect this from Pete. I expect this from Lewis. I don't expect it from you, Mr. Negative. Okay? You just let me down today. You've totally let me down.
You expect it from me.
Trolling Mondays. Trolling Mondays.
Just so mad.
I've been killing all y'all today. What you talking about, Steven?
I was disappointed.
Steven, just call it Trolling Mondays.
I never heard.
Everybody's trolling today.
Oh, everybody.
Can I make my point real
The
quick?
trolls are out. The trolls are out here. The ones that wanted Dalvin Cook, he wanted to pick us because he wanted Tua. Well, I thought Miami was the top destination. I'm done, Irvin. That's all I thought Miami was the top destination. I don't see him coming here taking pay cuts. Go ahead, guys.
Pete, let me ask you a question. Why is he posting about the Dolphins every other day on his own Twitter? Why is he doing that? Why is he retweeting everybody?
Because he has a Twitter account. Because he has a Twitter account.
That question. Ask yourself that question because the Dolphins have done their part. Chris Greer has done his part.
No. Hang on. Because you guys are all confused right now. The Dolphins have done their part. And you're mad at who exactly? Like I'm just trying to find you guys are trying to argue.
I'm not mad at all. I'm just loud, and you know that. That's I guess you get take it for like mad, but I'm not mad at all. I have no dog in this fight. I could care less.
Do you blame?
At this point, it's the worst kept secret in the NFL, guys.
Even if Dalvin wanted 1,000%, you knew he wanted to come here. Is he doing his job right now, Cap? As far as trying to get the most money he can, is he wrong for doing that?
Of course, bro. No, nobody's arguing that. But then I don't want to hear from you, Batman, week 8 about the offensive line. That's all I'm saying.
We're not going to fix the O-line no matter what, Cap. We know that.
Okay.
We're not gonna do
I'm
that.
just saying.
But at least go fix something else that we've wanted for a while.
Can I make a point real quick?
The O-line will be much improved.
All right, guys. Let Spider-Man go. Let Irving go. Go ahead, Irving.
I was just gonna say to Mr. Negative's point, he wasn't necessarily labeled as an offensive guru. He was labeled as a guru in the run game because of his creative run scheme going back to his days from San Francisco, which helped him even in his not only as a run game coordinator, but even in his during his time as the offensive coordinator, and that included putting Deebo Samuel in the backfield and moving guys who are usually fixed to one position, playing multiple positions, that's what gave him that moniker. So when we signed him to Miami, he was supposed to, really boost up our run game, and that was the problem that we had in 2021, that we had one of the least productive run games in terms of yards per rush and yards per game. Not necessarily that slightly improved a little bit.
Irving, and he did that with a bunch of nobodies here in Miami. So you gotta
but what he did in the system, he brought the Kyle Shanahan, West Coast scheme. He paired Jalen Waddle with Tyreek Hill, put two of the best, most dynamic weapons on the outside, build around Tua Tagovailoa, and he made this offense into a top 6 offense. And that for a first-year coach is pretty impressive in of itself. We haven't had a top 10 offense since 1995.
So Irving, do we need
to give him his credit?
Irving,
and it comes with. No, I mean, listen, Dalvin Cook would make this. If we add Dalvin Cook to this offense, he automatically is the running back 1. He's the guy who's going to get the majority of the carries, no question about it. If we don't get him, listen, let me finish real quick. What happened?
Irving, summarizing what you said in the last minute.
Goddamn, Irving.
The man came to Miami.
Let Irving finish, please.
The man came to Miami to help the run game. He was a run game coordinator. He improved our running game. He averaged 4.9 yards a carry with a bunch of guys from the rec center.
Absolutely.
And now we're complaining because we want a better running back.
Absolutely, Batman.
With guys from the rec center, but no, we want to complain about it. All right.
We're not complaining.
There you go, Batman. There you go.
No, nobody's complaining. I think people are trying to defend the problem that he didn't sign. I think this is the issue here.
Steven, check your Twitter, because clearly nobody has seen what the hell is going on.
Rashad, what's up, bro? Just say it.
I'm not going to complain if they signed Dalvin. I just don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, bro. I'm just not going to defend it. I'm not going to defend why he didn't sign. I can care less at this point. We got bigger issues.
I could care less if Dalvin signs. Just whatever. Just go fill other position groups. We have other positions that are in bigger need.
Well, that's where me and you part. That's where me and you are like separate, and that's the nature of Mr. Negative.
That's not a bad point to make, Mr. Negative.
I just don't.
That's the fair point.
All right.
Obviously, we need O-line. We need another linebacker. I don't have any faith in the linebackers overall.
I don't see why we can't do all
breaking news, Steven.
Any news? No news.
Check the Dolphins Twitter. Check the Dolphins Twitter.
Them all.
Telling you, bro, you guys aren't going to hear anything until July 17th, bro.
Do we have breaking news? Does anybody have breaking news?
Yes.
Hold on, I'm looking.
Well, say it.
Dalvin Cook still isn't a Miami Dolphin.
Oh, wow, that is breaking news. Thank you for letting us know.
Happy birthday, Alec Ingold.
You guys suck.
like
I actually
3
went
days
there and
ago.
looked at it. I was all excited.
Hang on. Is that?
You guys are a bunch of a-holes, okay? All right, hey, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Returning after a long hiatus, glad to be back. We are going to do final takes. We're going to do final takes. We're going to start going down the line. If you guys haven't donated to the channel, please donate. It helps the channel grow. If you guys haven't hit the like button, only 70 likes. Over 100 of y'all on average. We had like 120 people solid today. It was awesome. I appreciate that. Back in a while, I had about 120 people solid. So let's get that number up. Share people, let people know that we're here. Be like Color and tell people about me while you're, on the show. Color's out here doing door-to-door marketing for Clock Blockers. What are y'all doing? Huh?
He's God's work right there.
He's a Jehovah's Witness, bro. We're going door to door, spreading the message.
Grassroots. You're right. Matter of fact, let's go with Color first. Final thought.
There you go.
Final thought. There is no final thought because at the end of the day, it is what it is, is all of that.
I had fun debating you today, man. It was a good debate with you today, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
That's how
you were still
Hey,
wrong.
Stephen D, can I go up next? Can I go up next? Because I got to go.
Yeah, go ahead, Irving. Color, I love you, man. Be good, Color.
All right, guys.
Yeah, man. Listen. Cook signs to Miami. It automatically upgrades our running back room. He would be a missing piece to a potential Super Bowl run. Make this offense pretty much unguardable because of all the speed that you have on the outside, and then now in the backfield. Then you add A-Chain. it gives plenty of weapons for Tua to work with what you add in the tight end room and with Higgins, etc. So, and the defense with Fangio, he's got a lot of players at his disposal now, especially at this time. I don't think he's ever had the amount of talent that he's had on this defense with the versatility that they offer to him. So I think this would make for a very, very exciting year. Can't wait for training camp to start. It's only 2 weeks away or less. Get your tickets. Smash that like button for Clock Blockers. Subscribe. Y'all know what to do. Y'all have a great, great rest of your day.
Irving, I appreciate that, man. Thank you, buddy. Good to hear from you, man. I miss you, man. Be good. All right, let's go to we're gonna go to Mr. Negative because I'm just so disappointed in Mr. Negative today. I mean, just you let me down today, Mr. Negative.
A lot of hating from Mr. Negative. A lot of hating.
I'm sorry that I disappointed your day, Stephen. But again, these are my feelings. Again,
they're wrong.
My thought is
Mr. Right.
Stephen, my thought on this is the fact that we crucified Brian Flores, right? Because he couldn't hire assistants at certain positions, right?
After 3 years.
The same energy with
after 3 years, Mr.
Negative. Okay, but we again with the offensive line. Why should I have faith that Butch Berry is the guy when he's been?
I'm not saying. By the way, I'm not saying you should. I am saying you should have faith in McDaniel, though.
But why? Why? Applebaum failed. That was his guy. He brought him in.
It would, but it should also make you happy that he saw that it wasn't working
right away.
Right away, and said, "All right, let's go in a different direction."
I'm happy that
he didn't do the Boyer thing by keeping him on the staff and then cover him up.
It worries me that
he got rid of him.
Players in other teams couldn't stand that. Couldn't stand Barry.
And I clearly said yes. I know that there's potential red flags during his days in Denver.
Good cop, bad cop.
But it's also but I also have faith that McDaniel's doing the right thing because he clearly indicated that Frank Smith, who's our offensive coordinator, and I've said this multiple times, I'm just saying it again, last year was in that offensive line room with Applebaum most of the time because he could not trust Applebaum. And so now having Butch Berry, he's like, I am so excited to have Frank Smith helping me out with the game plan.
You know what? Frank Smith is basically an O-line coach that he's been given the title of OC. And here's where it reminds me of. It reminds me of Joe Philbin in Green Bay. He was not the OC. He was by name, but it was Mike McCarthy calling the plays, right?
Fact.
And it reminds me, and also, too, it reminds me of Kansas City. I don't think Eric Bieniemy was really calling the plays. I think it was Andy Reid.
And that's why you have to go.
Well, I will tell you, hey, we're gonna find out a little bit about Eric Bieniemy this year.
That's why you have to go.
I don't have any faith in Frank Smith. He's an offensive line coach.
By the way, I'm not saying that Frank Smith is going to be calling plays. I'm excited. Hold on. I'm excited because it might help take some of the stuff off the plate for McDaniel that he was struggling with, right? Getting the plays called in on time, calling timeouts. Frank Smith might allow for some of that to be taken off McDaniel's plate a little bit more and bridge that gap a little bit more. And so I think it does nothing but help. You got to look at it from a positive standpoint of what it could help with them. I think Vic Fangio coming in not only does wonder for the defense, does wonders for McDaniel, because when the defense is on the field, he's not sitting there scratching his head saying, what the hell are we doing? I think he's going to be able to focus on the offensive more because Frank Smith's going to be there to help him, and he's going to not worry about so much about what Josh Boyer's doing because he trusts Vic Fangio. So I think Fangio and the ability of Frank Smith getting out of the room, the offensive line room, and bringing in Butch Berry, I'd like to think that it's going to clean up those mistakes that we saw from.
Steven, I asked this, and again, much respect for everyone in here. Everyone's awesome. Love everybody.
No, you're awesome, Mr. Negative. I'm disappointed in you today, but you're an awesome person.
You guys are fantastic. But I got one last thing, Steven.
Okay.
So who's in charge of the Post-it note for Butch Berry when he's got to communicate to the players? I just got to know this. I got to know.
I have no idea.
I would like to offer my services for my going on.
Not a troll.
They're going to use cue cards.
Mr. Negative, I think if you go to the Dolphins.com and collect
I want to apply for that job.
I think Post-it note taker is up there. You can go to MiamiDolphins.com, go to careers,
All right.
Should be down there as Post-it
I will
notes.
be the Post-it note guy. I'll hand them out to the players.
Right under trolling.
Love you, Mr. Negative. Be good, buddy.
All right, take care, everybody.
All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami.
Steven, can I go real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Batman.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, bud.
Unfortunately.
I wanted to say the first game, Atlanta Falcons, that preseason game, MCJB is going to be recording a music video here in Miami for his running back song that he has with Vince. And they're going to, anybody who wants to come out, be part of the music video at the Tailgate. You know, it's going to be an awesome thing, and we're going to record it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So that Friday night, Atlanta Falcons preseason game, we're going to have a music video. And again, any fans from South Florida, Dolphin fans that wants to be in the video, we're going to do it like, you know, we're going to do it real big. So anybody welcome to come. The song dropped yesterday on YouTube. So check it out. It's running back. It's fun. You played it before, Steven. It's a hell of a song. We're trying to get Solo D for the remix. We're trying to get Solo for the remix, man. But
Solo just had, by the way, Solo had a baby last week. Solo has a new baby.
Yes, congratulations.
Shout out to Solo.
Congrats, Solo D, man. That's awesome.
Shout out to Solo D.
But yeah, man, much love to everybody, man. Even the Tua haters that are just still on that side of the fence. Hey, the judgment day is coming for them. So peace up, fins up, love y'all.
Be good. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here in the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. All right, let's real quick. Just want to remind you all, home run derby tonight. Let's go, Adley Rutschman. I'm all about Adley Rutschman tonight in the home run derby. That's my pick for a home run derby tonight. Not because I live up here in Baltimore, but because Adley Rutschman's a beast, and he's winning the home run derby tonight. Although Julio Rodriguez being at home might do some damage too. But I'm excited. Home run derby tonight. Make sure you guys check it out. All right, let's go. Pete's take. Final thought of the day, Pete.
Thank you for having me up here. Shout out to all of you guys that came up here, gave us your thoughts. Batman is right. I must say Judgment Day is coming, if you guys know what I mean. Skyler will be here. These aren't my final thoughts because, you know, I'll still be around. But Skyler time will be here, and the future looks bright. I can't wait to see A-Chain and Eazy-E turning it up. Y'all have a good day.
Oh,
be good, brother. Be good, Pete.
He loves all the second string players. I like that.
Guys, if you want to donate to the channel and help the channel grow, you guys can hit YouTube Super Chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat. Or you can also use Cash App or PayPal, which is $MSM Podcast Network, or use the QR code or MSM Podcast Network, or use the QR code that you've just seen on your screen. All right, let's go to Cap for Life. Final thought of the day, Cap.
Yeah, man. Hey, welcome back, man. Thank you for having to put up with the nonsense, but it's the price to pay with the colors we wear, gentlemen. We didn't sign up for this. We were born into this. So, it's just a matter of just having patience, knowing that this is always, like Homeboy said earlier, it's the dog days of summer. So we got another week left. We're gonna see what happens with all these franchise tags, and we're gonna see where the market actually gets dictated. Like we Chris Greer, say what you will. That's another debate to have. We all have our opinion, but I'm with him on this, and we should stand still and just wait and play it out. We're not going to have the market set on our end and make us look like low ballers. No, we're going to stand still, see how it plays out, and we'll take it from there, bro. Like, at the end of the day, if he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I just don't like the overhypeness of trying to make another team better, and the outcome of doing this. But I guess that's how negotiations are done. But at the end of the day, if he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And that'll tell you all you need to know.
All right, brother. Be good, man. Excited
Y'all be good, man. Easy.
Easy. All right, Miami Sports Music, Clock Blockers, final takes here. Want to remind you guys, if you're going to go to the Baltimore Ravens game this year, that Miami Sports Music and Tailgreeter have combined to do the Tailgreeter Tailgate Tour. We are going to have a Saturday night meet and greet free at Jimmy's Famous Seafood. And then we have a all-inclusive tailgate VIP experience. And then we also have game tickets, upper level and lower level. We are partnering up with amazing hotels, just like this one here. The Baltimore Beatdowns partnering up with the Hampton Inn. So if you guys want to do that, you guys can go to the link that is posted in Tailgreeter. So we have everything set, man. We got transportation to and from the game. We got it all. So just make sure you guys do that. It's a big deal.
All right, wait. So we got
You got the Baltimore thing. You're doing the Philly thing too, as well.
Yep, we are. I was going to get to that after the next person, but since you brought it up, I'll just repeat it real quick. We got the Philly Finvasion as well. So if you want to go to the Philadelphia game, we have the Saturday night meet and greet at a local bar, like 3 miles away from the stadium. We are doing game. We have all-inclusive tailgate. We're expecting about 150, 200 people at this tailgate. It's literally 1 block away from Lincoln Financial Field. We'll have our own security. It's going to be awesome. It's great. I'm excited about it. And then it's going to be great. It's going to be good times. And then we also have linked up with the Holiday Inn Express hotel partner for the Philly Finvasion, and so we have that there as well. And we have round trip from the hotel to the tailgate for that as well. So we have everything covered. So it's good stuff. I hope that you all come to that. It's going to be great. Want to give a big shout out to Triple S Podcast with his $13.99. I think that's Canadian dollars. Shout out to you, Triple S Podcast, man, for the donation. It helps a lot. Thank you for helping the channel grow. You guys want to donate? It helps the channel grow. It goes a long way. It's a big deal. All right, Blessed Man Sports. Final thought of the day, Blessed Man.
Final thought of the day, I think Dalvin Cook is still going to come to Miami Dolphins because I think there are offers that are higher on the table. I think that $7 million is legit from the Vikings. He can actually sign it. I think, like I said, tax-wise, it would make sense to be about even. And if there was a high offer, honestly, and if there was a team he wanted to play for more, he wouldn't have signed that contract with that other team. So I still think we're going to wind up with him. And I still think we're going to adjust we're going to address the other situations, the backup linebacker situation, the backup defensive tackle situation that we need to address as well. Possibly the offensive line, if need be. We're not done. You know what I'm saying? It's a long process. And you have to, be patient within the negotiation. You got to let these things play out. You know what I mean? The season don't start until another few weeks. So we all right.
Hey, Blessed Man, go ahead and promote what you do, man. Let people know where they can find you.
You can find me right here on YouTube at Ty Blessed. You know what I'm saying? See everything that I do, whether it be music, whether it be the radio stuff, interviews. Also, I'm starting to do sports stuff like this. You know what I mean? A little some takes, hot takes about the Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins, etc. Teams that I love.
Hey, is Dame Time coming to Miami?
Dame Time is on the way. It's on the way. I think it's gonna be a 5-team deal, man. I hear some crazy shit.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be insane. I'm having some NBA people come on later on this week.
Yeah,
and hopefully
I don't want to lose JJJ, and I don't want to lose Jovic. And I know we might have to, and that's making me sick.
Hey, you gotta concede on something here to bring in somebody like Damien Lillard. So.
Hey, Bless, before you go, just let me hit you with my theme saying with your offer narrative about other offers. That's cap.
That's cap.
I just want you to know that's cap. They ain't no damn offer. You need to stop
I said,
you know better than that.
Already. He would have signed them already, right? If there was a better offer than the Dolphins, he would have signed it already.
No. If there was any offers, they would have been. Bro, let's stop the cap. We all know there's only one offer. But, hey, that was your final thought. I'm just saying. I just wanted to hit you with the phrase, homie. That's cap.
Anyways, get out of here, Blessed Man. Thank you for coming on this morning, man. It was a lot of fun having you.
100, baby.
All right, man. Let's go to the Lakers fan here in the middle. This Rashad gentleman.
Yeah, I hate being right all the time. Well, let's say 110% of the time. But
that's cap.
What show have you been right 100% on, Rashad? It definitely ain't this one. It ain't this
these
one.
past couple weeks, and welcome back, Steven. These last couple weeks, I've been trolling everybody about Dalvin Cook, but I've been saying he's coming eventually. I don't think it's happening. And there's one reason why. I have something that I say, what's common sense to the Dolphins isn't common. If it makes total sense, we go the opposite way. And when the national media is saying he's from Dade County, he wants to go home, he's on his last legs, he wants to retire in Miami, that all makes sense. So in reality, it doesn't make sense to the Dolphins. So I'm on that. He's not coming now.
You're doing this reverse psychology stuff, Rashad. Don't think too hard, man. You're gonna.
I hope I'm wrong.
Rashad, don't do this.
I will love him in Miami. I hope I am wrong. I want him to be in Miami, but It's not like that. It makes too much sense. It literally
Hey,
makes too much sense.
Stacks just said Rashad's got worse takes than Pete. Dismiss him, Steven.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
I'll see
about
y'all
words.
later.
I would say on par. I wouldn't say words.
Rashad, I love you, man. Good to hear from you, man. Missed you, buddy. All right. And last
All right,
but certainly not least, get on camera for this.
The boy. Your boy's in the building.
Your boy. One of my boys. Final thought of the day, Lewis.
Steven, at the end of the day, I do think Dalvin Cook's going to be a Miami Dolphin. I just think it's going to be at the price that the Miami Dolphins want him at. I don't think it's going to be at Dalvin Cook's price. Unless there's an offer that comes across the table that Chris Greer can finally look at and say, hey, man, we're willing to match that or we're willing to exceed that or whatever. But this narrative that there's other offers and stuff, I'm just not buying it. We know there's one offer, and that's from the Miami Dolphins. And it is what it is.
All right. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. My final thought of the day, one thing has nothing to do with anything, and that is I just finished watching Shameless. Took me like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Loved it. Loved all 11 seasons of it. Go watch Shameless if you've never watched it. That show is fire. Next show I think I'm going to start watching is Succession, but I know you guys like my movie and TV takes sometimes. So I just finished watching Shameless. Thought it was great. Ended that last night, so that was good. Frank, yes, Shameless was awesome. If you guys haven't seen Shameless, you got to go watch it. It's a great show. What else? Home Run Derby tonight, as I said. I'm excited about that. That'll be fun. I'm excited to be back, man. I for those of you that are still watching, look, this is I love to do this and I want to do this. And when you guys donate, it helps me keep doing this. When you guys share, it helps me keep doing this. When you guys tag me and share the link, it all helps. So please share the link, please tag, please donate if you're able to. It helps. So I want to keep doing this for a long time. And I want you guys to keep coming here and having a place to talk and letting Miami Sports Music Podcast Network be the place to do that. So tomorrow's Hot Take Tuesday. We should have fun time tomorrow. Like I said, I'm revamping a lot of stuff. So tomorrow, Hot Take Tuesday, should be a good show. And I hope to see y'all tomorrow morning. It'll be a good time. I'll leave you all with this. You never know what somebody's going through. If somebody reaches out to you and they don't respond, just keep reaching back out because, that stuff is real. Reaching out once is great. Reaching out 10 times is even better. You never know what somebody's going through. And, for somebody who was just kind of in the swing of things over this last couple of weeks, it was good to know that some people reached out to me. And even if I didn't respond, it was needed and it helped. So keep doing it, man. It's a big deal. Lewis, your takes are horrible. Your cap.
That's cap.
Your cap.
That's cap.
I love you, brother.
I love you too, Steven. All right. And always remember,
I don't care what they say about you.
Well, let the cat out of the bag. What do they say about me, Steven?
A lot of stuff, my guy.
Put a name on it, Steven.
Stephen D said, your cat. That's what he said. I love you, brother. Be good, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Peace.
Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fence for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time. To a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time. My intuition told me this. To trust the coach, he holds the gift. He know when to go.